Checking to see if we're good. Yes.
Yep.
Woohoo.
Testing.
I know. I know mystical unicorn paintings already here. Hi, Amanda.
I was just getting into the recast of the Monk's Lore Masters Arcanum. That was an insane conversation. Like the variant, like first ed monk debate is like, oh man, they got like an ability every single level.
They really changed. The Dragon magazine really changed that class. Because it was very much a kind of a glass cannon.
Yeah.
And they took away they slowed down the damage progression, but they very much upped the survivability. It was interesting because it's one of those classes that actually had two hit die, even if they were D4s at first level in the original. And then I think they changed to D6s.
I had a friend whose DM used the alternate weapon speed rules, where like if the speed of your weapon was faster than the speed of your opponent's weapon, like you got more attacks in. And they fought some big bad boss who was like a paladin on a warhorse or something like that. And well, like the warhorse's weapon speed is like 30. So it always goes last. And he was a monk who had a weapon speed of 1. And so it just got close and he just liquefied it. Like as the guy went by, he just like palmed his horse into a big puddle. And then he stopped using those rules after that.
No doubt. Everybody's armed with daggers.
Got 30 attacks.
Faster.
It was awesome.
Oh my goodness.
Like a D4 per hit, but you know what?
30 D4.
It'll put you down.
All right. I like this. We're starting to see some of the regulars shuffling in. You know what would actually be good? It'd really be good if I actually brought up my CNC source books, because that might help. Just a thought. I love that I don't really need to bring up the Castle Keeper's Guide. Just makes
You got to that point.
Well, no, it isn't even that. Most of the stuff in the Castle Keeper's Guide, quite frankly, is optional.
With common sense kind of stuff, or
there's some stuff for helping the Castle Keeper out in terms of things that you might want to consider, but the bulk of the stuff is either that kind of giving Castle Keeper ideas and guidance on how to run a game and such. After that, it's all like optional rules that you might want to use.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Amanda, I would love to be able to claim that, but addition and rule set bleed is real. Like to give you guys an idea, I nearly killed in our Friday night game. I nearly killed the same character, nearly knocked him from full health to death twice because of crit rolls that honestly we didn't really discuss and don't exist in the base game. Oh, that's one good thing we'll bring up. So for crits, what we're going to do for crits is, because I don't have crit tables, and that seems I'm still kind of on the fence as to whether or not I like using them. It's going to be a full damage for the players. It'll be full damage plus you'll roll as if you were for damage as if you were making normal. So you have full plus up to double.
So maximized plus a roll.
So the way we do it.
Yeah.
My game.
Yep.
Yeah.
I made a Discord bot for all the Rollmaster crit table stuff too.
Oh, nice.
You just do like we use the different levels though, so we would do like hand-to-hand crit B as just the command, and then it would just like it would roll on the table for you and say what it was. And I converted it to 5e.
Nice. All right. We are going to go live
In 3,
as soon as I figure
2,
out.
1.
Oh, there we go. I was staring at the Twitch screen. It's like, why don't I have a thing to think? So that's because that is not OBS. Hi, everyone. As you can tell, we're off to a fine start here. Yeah, welcome to another Sunday Fun Day one shot. No, I mean, I hope we're all going to have fun. I know I will. I'll leave it to my players to decide how much fun they're having. Yeah, we have some new faces in terms of at least one shots that I've been running. And we have some very, very familiar faces, or at least some very familiar names. So let's get started. We're going to get started with the newcomers. So, Tony, tell us a little bit about yourself and who you're playing.
I'm Tony. I go by Heimdallr. I'm playing Uther Umberwood, the paladin of the Allfather. I'm a gamer, creator. Yeah.
All right. John.
I'm John, also known as Demon Gun. I work with Heim for Virtual Tabletop Journey, where we publish all kinds of 5e content, Tailspire maps, all that kind of stuff. We have a Patreon. I'm going to be playing Hemmick of Turok Mall, who's a 74-year-old dwarven cleric who serves only his purpose. He's a proud, wise dwarf. He has short-cropped black hair, a long black beard in a single braid. He wears battered plate mail and worn equipment, and he travels to bring justice and healing everywhere he goes, ever since he got his calling from his church. He lived underground until he was about 30 or so, when he was called to the surface to aid everyone there. He has several medals of honor from his activities over his journeys, but his scars and those chasing him are also a part of his life, but not as visible.
All right. Excellent. Jeff.
I am playing a half-elf bard named Johann Johansson the 11th from a long and distinguished line of Johanns. He is renowned for being the spelling bee champion of the town of Cradleton. He was once the slayer of the goblin menace of Barber, who kept stealing everybody's gardening tools. And he's the keeper of the holy canteen of Denmark, which is rumored to keep beverages, especially his ale, a few degrees above room temperature, which is much better than at room temperature, and a bunch of other assorted legendary deeds. However, he became a member of this group. He's not sure yet, but he highly suspects it had to do with a drinking contest he had with a dwarf, and he only has a 10 con, so it probably did not go so well for him.
All right. Excellent. And finally, last but not least, Toriano.
Hi, I'm Biggie Paul to most of you guys. BP Gaming RPG for my Twitch. I am playing a gnome illusionist, Niblet Pinky Toe. Niblet dresses proper. I mean, has really nice pressed pants and shirt. The shirt has ruffle laces around the collar and the sleeves with all gold cufflinks, dark brown shoes, black cloak, orange hair, light blue eyes. Really short for a gnome. It's only 2'6". Very friendly, loves the sound of his own voice, likes to play pranks on unwilling participants, and likes to jump into conversations to give his 2 cents, whether anybody wants it or not.
Excellent. And well, I mean, you all know me. I'm Robert Phantom NJ, and I will be your castle keeper for this afternoon. I'm nice to see so many faces already out there in the chat. So without further ado, we're going to get a move on. The party you've all been adventuring together for quite some time, and most recently doing some work in the Kingdom of Keeland, which is partially partially by design, partially just because you were lucky enough to find some work. As a former party member, another dwarf, as a matter of fact, distant kinsman to Hemmick by the name of Garen, had sent word that the new Dwarven Hall has is about ready to open, or was going to be ready to open in time for the Brewfest festivities to begin. The Dwarven Hall is located in the Jotun Mountains, not far from where you are, though. We're going to start this journey for the purposes of roleplay. We're going to start this the evening before. You would be expected to arrive the next day. You had not seen or heard from Garen in some time, though the last message that had gotten to you was approximately 3 months ago, saying all was good. And he had sent word as far as the trail to reach the dwarven home. And you find yourself just outside the Jotun Mountains, rising in the distance. Kind of rocky land, but you managed to find yourself a nice area for making camp. And please, have some roleplay.
It will be nice to be headed back to the mountains of stone. I'm tired of the plains and the dirt and the trees.
So what time of day is it?
It is late evening.
Late evening.
Mm-hmm.
So Niblet's gonna run out and grab some sticks and stuff to start a little campfire.
Are we right? Are we on horseback, or are we hoofing it?
Actually, you have horses with you, though. The only horse that really constitutes a war horse would be Uther's war horse. The rest of you are managed to get horses more accustomed to a climb through a narrow mountain pass.
I'm gonna need help off this thing. This thing's a little high for me.
Shall assist you, my friend Noom.
I appreciate it.
Johan will go over and like go to catch him. All right, you jump and I'll catch you. Ready?
I pause to watch.
I jump.
I will do my best to catch the gnome and set him on his feet as gracefully as I can.
Okay. So quick question for you. Setting a watch. Who would like to do which watch?
I will do first watch. I'm going to spend the time currying and taking care of Theodore the warhorse.
Since I have dark vision, I'll take the middle watch, one of the middle watches, because I can see at night.
You want to take second, and Hemmick will take third. I have deep vision as well.
Yeah.
And I can get my beauty sleep. This is sounding better and better. I like this group. They've given me more time to write the epic story of Uther. That's why I'm here, right? I'm here to chronicle his grand deeds as he tours the land, ridding it of evil.
Yeah, Uther tolerates this only as a joke. He's very humble.
Okay. All right. So let me make sure that I have. Let's go. The order again was Uther was taking which watch?
First.
And then it was Hemmick?
Niblet's got second.
Niblet's second.
All right, Niblet, then Hemic, and then Johan.
Yep.
Okay, hold on a second.
And Hemic will after Niblet's graceful departure from the horses, Hemic will go ahead and take all the reins and get them staked down or tied to a tree, whichever's easiest,
Okay.
and help put camp together.
So, Uther, your watch goes pretty quietly. There's sounds of the wildlife. You hear the occasional howl of a wolf. Nothing really close by. It's the weather has taken a turn for the cooler, especially as you approach the mountains. The air is rather crisp, but all seems to be well. And then Niblet. Let's see. Do me a favor. Give me a wisdom check.
So that's a 19, and I got no bonuses. So
Nice.
19 and so yeah, you also hear there's like an echo of something through the mountain through the mountain pass that that lays before you. Sounds kind of distant. It's not entirely clear what's making the sound. Doesn't sound very close though, but it's really hard to tell because it's kind of echoing. Other
well, I
than
do
that,
get pluses to listening. So I do have enhanced hearing.
You have what, +2?
+3.
+3.
Yeah.
Okay. It's possible that it might be a person. You're not sure, but there's the sound, an echo going through the pass, and it occasionally gets lost on the wind, and the wind at the almost inopportune times decides to pick up and play tricks with your hearing.
All right. I am going to yeah. I'm gonna keep listening. If I start to hear it getting closer, then I am gonna wake up Hammock. I'm gonna wake up Hammock first, since how he's on the next watch anyways. And then if it gets really close, then I will inform the rest of the group.
Okay. Hammock, your dreams have been troubled. There is a sense of wandering around in a darkness that, for whatever reason, you can't see through. You're, despite knowing that you should be able to see just fine, you have the sense of being deep underground in a darkness that seems unnatural. You call out for your companions, but no one answers the call, and your voice seems to lose itself. Not even, you don't, almost to the point where at times you're not even sure whether you can hear yourself speaking. An odd feeling for a dwarf. You almost get a sense of claustrophobia, as if the mountain itself was closing in. And there's, after a while, as it feels like you're about to be completely closed in, you hear a voice, a familiar voice. commanding voice saying, "Wake up, wake up, wake up," and as almost as if a loud dwarven figure is shouting in your ear, you find yourself being shaken awake by Niblet.
A very small child.
Who is very much not a commanding dwarf. I'd like to add.
Yeah.
I hear voices. I hear something coming in the distance.
I'll shake and stand up and listen.
Roll wisdom check for me.
Okay.
Could I tell if it was on like horse or if it just was like a humanoid walking?
You couldn't tell.
Good tell. Okay.
Okay, I got a 17 plus 7, right? Because of my level.
Yeah, plus your level. Yep.
24.
And you 17. Did you add your wisdom modifier?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you hear the echo, and while it doesn't sound like it's getting any closer, it feels wrong. Like there's you have a sinking feeling, almost matching the one in your dreams, coming from the directions of the sounds.
Something's not right. Something's not natural. And I'll
Should we wake up? Should we wake up the others?
I'm gonna look around for my warhammer and my shield, and I'm gonna to arms.
I pop up.
Okay, so
I mean, yes, Niblet.
so Uther, you've been asleep just long enough for your dreams to begin, and there's a voice that has softly been playing in your head for a bit now, whispering to you songs of valor and things that you could be, and making sure that you stay on the righteous path, and all you could hope to be will be yours. And just as you are awoken by the rest of your party, you hear a single word: soon. As the party wakes up. Johann, you slept very well. Not a care in the world.
As I hear the cry to arms, Johann kind of like shakes a little bit and says, "Oh my God, Madame, did you put the cart by the window like I asked? I know they're coming from. Oh, there's no mayor here. No, what? I did not say that out loud." And he's gonna look around and try to figure out what's going on. And if he sees are these other guys like putting on like armor and grabbing their shields and stuff, if he sees people doing that kind of getting ready for combat, he's gonna rush and quickly put on his steel breastplate.
Same. Immediately begin putting on all the gear.
Something doesn't feel right. I had strange dreams, and then I heard a sound, but there's something unearthly about it. I don't know if a foe is upon us yet, but I fear that one is pursuing us. Or I feel a calling.
Do you need me to play a song to calm your nerves? A few.
Ooh, a singer. Yes.
I would not refuse. I would not refuse comfort.
I'm going to play a very softly, so it's not to make it just for the group. I'm trying to reduce the sound just to keep it in a small area. But
Okay.
I'm just gonna sing a heroic tale of Greyhawk past.
Do you feel it, Uther?
I pause in my literally like half into my armor. I pause and I look and I take a deep breath. I do not, but I do not doubt you.
Something awaits us.
Okay. And the party sits out. Okay. So you begin your journey further and make your way into the mountain pass, following the the directions that Garen had given you. Um, the temperatures quickly begin to drop as one you start to find yourself at some elevation. The crisp night air still lacking, still lacking the warmth of the sun, is grows chillier and chillier till you start to feel it in your bones. The fact that the dark portents that you have experienced only adding to the discomfort that you were feeling.
Ooh,
Um,
I'm not built for this stuff. This is too cold.
Okay.
We'll bundle him up.
I also
Um,
do not have the gear for this.
let's put it this way. I'm going to allow that you managed to pick up some cloaks, some heavy cloaks for this in your last stop, knowing that you were going to be heading into the mountains.
Okay.
So it's chilly and it's, but you're not in immediate danger from just the temperatures.
Okay.
You get fatigue, and you get fatigue.
So where we're headed, can we see like snow and stuff like that? Because it's getting so chilly up here.
Yeah, you're starting to hit areas where there is some snow on the ground. It is not currently snowing.
I grab a stick that's almost as tall as I am, and I tie a colored piece of cloth to it, and I'm holding it as I'm walking.
This
So
is
we
my
know where it
indicator
is,
to
under the
let you
snow.
know where I'm going in case it snows.
Okay. Well,
Well,
you do have your you do
gotta
have your
remember-
horse at the moment.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm on my horse. How did I get on my horse? Who helped me up?
All of us.
Magic.
Long way up.
We built a little. You got like a little rope ladder
we rigged the rope.
on the side of yours. An intricate pulley system with elevator.
All right, so for the actually let's do this for the journey through the pass. I'll give you two options. If you want to ride, you'll need to go single file. If you decide to walk and lead your horses, you can go 2x2.
Ride.
I'll ride.
Is there
It's
much
too
danger of like the horses slipping? I mean, as an adventurer, I guess, as someone who actually knows something about horses, Hemic might know if it's safer to go 2x2 or 1x1 or walk them as far as the horses. Is the horses slipping dangerous?
At the moment, you don't believe so. Winter has not fully set in. The fact that there's snow on the ground has more to do with that elevation, but the night is pretty clear. You can see one of the two moons. Most probably 3/4. Actually, well, yeah, it's about 3/4 of it showing. So you have reasonable vision, and the stars in the sky are very visible. There's not much in terms of cloud cover. The one thing that's working in your favor is the only element you're fighting at the moment is just the chill.
I would follow Uther's lead and go single file while on horses. Uther and Niblet.
Actually, that was going to be my next question. Marching order.
Is it still night?
The first hints of sunlight are starting to hit the horizon. So
Okay.
the night sky is going from a dark black to maybe a touch of violet.
Then I'll go ahead and lead if it's not a visibility problem.
Okay, Uther, followed by
Hemmick will take up the rear, I think.
I don't know.
Hemmick.
Niblet will go second.
Yeah, I'll go behind. I guess I'll be behind Niblet so I can fire my bow over his head.
This is such a pretty view. Look at the colors. Gotta love it.
All right.
I'm not a. The sky's not a. No, you need cave. You need rock overhead.
You got rock all around you. You don't need rock overhead.
It's not the same.
Still, Hemmick,
Something
you've been
not
up
right about
above,
stars
You've been above ground this long, and you still feel that way.
every day.
Uh,
I miss the lichen, the glowing lichen, and the chirp of the bats and the cave creatures, and the low thrum of fungus.
Has anybody got a stone they can hold above his head so he can feel at home?
Does the stone have to be a particular size, like with a rock, like a little handheld rock? Like if we put tied like a little stick over your head and tied a
We
rock
should
to it,
find
would
we
that-
should
would
find a maker to create a stone hat for it.
instead of the carrot and the stick, it's the
You jest, but had you grown up in the ancient dwarven halls,
Rock
would
ball
know-
cap.
you would know a regal palace does not need stars above it.
I've never
Okay.
been
You
to
should
a
try
place
it.
like that.
Try just 40 or 50 years, it'll grow on you.
I need Uther and Niblet to make wisdom checks for me.
Oh yes,
What was it?
Oh no.
4.
I rolled a 1.
Yeah.
All right, you four and a 1, huh?
Yeah, I don't think I have any bonuses of any kind. Yep, 4. I rolled a 4.
All right, so that'd be 11 total. Wisdom is not one of your primes, right?
Correct.
Ooh.
All right. You wind your way through the mountain pass, which grows slightly narrower as even as it begins to make more of an ascent into the up the mountains. When you at the last second hear the whistle of an arrow, Uther, AC 21.
I have an AC of 18. I have full plate and a large shield, and I only have 18. Is that correct?
If you have no dex bonus,
Well, I wouldn't with the plate mail anyway, right?
You wouldn't get your shield bonus, I wouldn't think, if it's surprise.
Oh yeah, so then probably 17.
yeah, you yeah, no, that checks out about right.
In Castles and Crusades, your shield I think only gives a +1 bonus for shield.
Yeah.
The big thing with the shield is the fact that in Castles and Crusades, the size of the shield impacts how many things you can use the shield on at one time.
Mhm.
So, like, I believe a medium steel shield allows you to use it against 2 enemies fighting you simultaneously,
Okay. I have
Like-
a large shield, so
where a large shield will
horrible.
allow you 3.
Not gonna help with an arrow.
Yeah. You're going to take 4 points of damage as an arrow hits you, basically a gash across your arm.
Dunk.
Whoa, what was
Coming
that?
I shout a warning. Take cover, we're under attack. I'll jump off my horse and pull him closer to the side of the hill.
Okay.
From which direction?
Ahead.
Yes, it was ahead. Yes.
How many? How many?
One
heads?
arrow.
I'll dismount and ready up.
Yep, I pull Theodore close to me.
I jump off hanging onto the reins of the horse and use that as a swing to get down.
Awesome.
Niblet, make a dexterity check for me.
That's an 18.
18.
And that's
Wow.
Fantastic.
Johan, you get the best view of watching Niblet just basically swing from the horse, using the reins and somehow managing to land solidly on 2 feet as if it were nothing.
Superhero
That's
landing.
full on Tarzan.
Well done, sir. Well done. Hey,
Who uses a bow? Johan uses a bow.
yeah, I have my boat. So I'm looking ahead from when he said that we had enemies ahead. I'm gonna look. Can I see these enemies from my horse? From like the top of my horse? Like right as I'm looking at that.
As you follow where Uther is pointing, you see up against, and it's still a little hard to tell because the sun is not completely up yet. A dark figure, roughly humanoid, but there's something odd about the shape of it. You can tell that it looks like it might be rather tall. But it is hunched against the side of a large rock, and getting ready to fire another arrow. At which point we're going to roll initiative just so we can do this. Uther, why don't you roll, since you took the first hit? Why don't you roll first initiative for us?
That's a D10, you said?
D10. Yep.
Go, Uther.
Hey! I'm like, oh no, a 0. And then I'm like, oh yeah,
That's a 10. Hey! and we continue the fine tradition where I never get to go first, which is why surprise is a wonderful thing, because that might be the last time that happens.
Hey, I don't know. Last time we played, I made sure that that the DM went first a couple of times.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have John's rolls. So, yeah.
Chuck.
Let's start with our caster just in case. Niblet.
I can't see the person yet, so
You have dark vision, don't you?
yes.
Okay, so you get a better view than most, especially since you're second in line. And Uther has moved over to the side of the rock face along with his horse. What you're attacking, you can tell almost immediately it's not human and not humanoid. As a matter of fact, the closest thing that you can compare it to would be the largest kobold you've ever seen.
Okay, and so
However, you realize quickly that while it does appear to be wearing some kind of armoring, or at least some type of clothing, it's a scaly black color in areas that are exposed.
So whatever is up there it's kind of like a large cobalt. Not really a cobalt. Can't really tell. It's scaly. Got armor. So watch out.
because I'm kind of trying to rein my horse off to the side while standing underneath it So I'm holding the reins underneath, trying to steer it over.
Okay. That's all you do?
Yeah, that's what I do.
All right. Johan.
Hey, so does he have cover right now, or can I take a clean shot at it?
Partial. He's going to have partial cover because he's trying to fire at you while you're trying to attack it.
Okay, Johan's gonna lick his thumb, his finger, and he's gonna put it up to the wind, try to gauge how things are going with it. And he's gonna try to take his best shot.
As I see him draw his bow back, would it be possible for me to cast light on his arrow?
Sure. What the heck?
And I'll just say, illuminate the foe for Uther. And I'll do that.
Okay, so, that's 8 to hit with my longbow.
It says the light's not stationary, and you can cast it on things that can then move.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
For 150 feet.
Okay, so as I go to shoot my arrow, the sudden light erupting in front of my face, like what the hell? And my natural 1 makes the
No.
Nice.
Oh my goodness! The moment when the castle keeper doesn't need to have you make a check because it happens all on its own.
Oh, that's
I'm
great.
using magic. Friends, beware.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to allow you to roll a 20-sided die to see how close you get to hitting it, just to see whether the arrow at least goes in the right direction.
Ow, my butt. Oh,
Oh, you're kidding.
Another nat one.
Another nat 1.
Yep.
At least I'm getting him out of the way right now. Good lord, I've rolled.
Well,
But
okay.
Man.
So your arrow, in a series of catastrophic failures, the distraction is so bad that you shoot the arrow straight up, and as you know, as it's going up, it does a great job of illuminating the party.
Illuminating us. We can now see, friends. Just like
Oh,
our
boy.
plan.
Yeah. So the boulder itself is actually, something. There's one thing that I did forget to mention. That is an option, and it's probably something that should be done before initiative happens. But because I forgot, I'll allow it now. If you wish to charge, you can charge your opponent. And this is something we'll be declaring before initiative for the specific reason that when you charge, you can move your full movement and attack. However, you'll be much more vulnerable in terms of your AC being hit when the opponent attacks you.
-4, correct?
Yeah. So if you wish to charge, I didn't give you. I forgot to ask you if you were going to want to, but Uther, you can decide if you wish to charge.
No, what I would like to do is I speak up in my deepest, most imperious voice. I say, "Halt, foe! Why do you attack us so? We have signaled our reinforcements. Drop your weapons, or we will be forced to kill you." Make the best of a bad situation.
Give me a charisma check.
Alrighty, this one I am proficient in. Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm not proficient. What's the word I'm looking for? Prime. It's one of my primes.
Prime. Yeah, it's a prime.
I rolled a 17 plus 7. Is that correct?
Yep. 17
And
plus 7.
Is it plus 7 and then plus my
Whatever your mod is.
Whatever your mod is.
16? So 7. That's 10 plus 27.
Okay, and just in case you're wondering, the reason these numbers do get kind of silly is because the challenge level will also get sillier. And a lot of times you're also going against somebody else's challenge level. So, that's the reason why it seems like it's a really, really large number now. May or may not be.
It might be against a large number.
It trivializes the easy things, the things that you should be able to do. And there comes a point where I'll just decide that you can do that. There's no need for a roll. So, you hear a voice. Yes, yes, yes. Bring more. She will love that. Oh, yes.
Is that thing hissing at you?
I think it's hissing at us.
At the words of him saying she, Johann strokes his beard at the thought of reptile.
Oh no!
I wonder what that looks like.
I drop.
Big warning that may not work out the way you expect it to.
I draw my sword and hunker down, getting ready to charge.
Okay. Hammock. Oh, that's right. You cast the light spell.
I cast light.
All right. Actually, and it gets to fire at you. Fire at you again. And because it was so nice to have lit you all up, I'm actually going to roll the d4 to see who it decides to attack, just to be fair.
Same order.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Actually, yeah, I'll just go into marching order. Yeah, that works. Up. Well, it likes you, Uther.
I knew it.
This time I don't think it's going to be very successful. Considering that's only AC 12. So
Miss.
Now an arrow goes. As you hunker down aside, the arrow clangs against the boulder that you're pressed against, and shatters harmlessly.
Okay. Ooh, Theodore. Ooh.
All right, Uther, you're still. We're next round of initiative, and you're up. Still.
All right. Does it look like I can make it all the way to him in a single dash?
Yes, but we need to roll initiative first.
Aha.
You can do it, I believe.
4.
Castle Keeper has an 8. So
I get shot again.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, because. Well, yeah, no. Actually, you're going to get shot again. That's.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
As you're charging closer, so you've got a -4 to your AC.
Oh, am I already charging? Or do I do-
because
Oh,
you
yeah,
have to
because-
declare it beforehand.
Yeah, because you're declaring it beforehand. So when it attacks, that's why you declare it beforehand, because if it's going to attack, it needs to get that bonus if it attacks first.
Fantastic. Okay, go for it.
However, apparently the sight of you charging kind of confuses it, because the arrow whizzes way above your head and flies off into the night, apparently in search of Johann's arrow. We're not quite sure where it happened.
Good luck,
Mating
sir.
arrows in
Finding
flight.
Where I put that arrow.
All right.
Aiming for the reinforcements on the way up the mountain.
Since you're charging, I'm going to let you attack first.
Okie dokie. That is a 7, but that's plus 10.
No, well, it'd be your plus your bonus hit. It whatever the total bonus is for on that row. So is it plus 10?
Oh, right. No, that's a plus 9.
So AC 6
AC
16?
16. Correct.
AC 16 is going to hit.
Yeah, I run up, sword out, shield forward, run up forward, and arc the sword over the shield to hit it right around this area.
Okay.
And that would be a D8 plus 3.
Plus, you get +2 for the charge.
Ooh.
Mhm.
A D8 plus 5. 1. So I do 6 damage.
We are on fire.
Yeah,
We
you slash across thing, and you find out that it was wearing, looked like it was some kind of robes just to semi cover itself. You slash through it and tearing into the robes as well as touching across the thing's chest. You find yourself staring into the face of an elongated head of a rather draconic looking figure, and it is easily as tall as you are. It does have a tail, though the tail is not very long. You've never come across something of this nature before.
I look it in the eye and I say, I offered you a chance.
She will have you anyway. Johan.
Johan, seeing now that Uther is in like melee combat, his bow will not be useful. He puts the longbow in his lap and takes out his loot, and he looks around to see, can I hold my action to see if the other guys are going to do anything, like try to gauge what the other guys are doing before.
We can let the other guys go. Yeah, it's group initiative, so we can let the other guys go first. That's fine.
Yeah, because I want to. So if someone looks like they're about to do something that needs inspiration, I would like to hold my action to give them bardic
Inspire that
inspiration.
Okay. Hemmick.
Hemmick is going to ready his shield and warhammer and charge up to stand to the side of Uther. I mean, my movement's 20, so I don't imagine that I could move and attack.
Yeah, you're not going to get to. You'll be close enough to attack next round, but you won't be able to attack this round.
I'll get there and provide moral support. You got this, Uther.
Niblet.
I am going to, again, being small in stature. Niblet starts walking up to where the combat is, because I'm not going to be able to get there in one turn anyways, attack. So I am going to move up, though. Get as close as I can.
Okay. All right, and Johan.
Okay, since everyone's moving up, Johan's noticing that he's like the only one left behind. Well, I guess, gentlemen, I guess I will guard the horses, make sure they're all safe and secure from any other draconic attacks.
Hey, listen, somebody's got to do it. All right. In that case, so Castle Keeper won initiative on that one. So John, why don't you roll initiative for us this time?
I can do that.
Roll that D10.
Roll 1d10. Go, Avery, go. Don't let me down. 9.
Castle Keeper's got a 3.
Sweet.
All right. Yeah. So Uther, you're the first one. You're up close and personal with it. So go for it.
Let's see. Other than just attacking, do I have any like grapple options or anything like that? Well, I've got both hands full. Yep, I'll go ahead and attack.
I was like, don't make me look up grapple options. No. Talk about addition bleed.
19.
All right.
That's a natural 19. So 19 plus
Nice.
9, that's 28.
Okay. Roll your damage.
Let's see if I can do better than 1. 3. So 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay.
Again, the same amount.
Do me a favor. Roll a wisdom check for me.
Ooh, that's gonna go well. Oh, not too bad. Okay. That's not one of my primes. So
Okay.
it's just the roll then?
Roll plus your level and your
Plus
any modifier.
No modifier. So 16, 23.
Okay. As you connect and slash the creature across its upper arm, you could swear you heard singing in your head. as almost a song of joy.
Okay.
All right. Hammock.
I'm gonna try to fall into a lockstep next to Uther,
Mhm.
as we're probably very experienced battling foes with
Oh,
one
yeah.
another. And so I'm just gonna swing with my warhammer.
I go high, you go low.
All right, a 1d20 plus 3, 4, 5, 6. I get a total of 18.
That's going to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. My damage is 1d8 plus 3. For a total of 11 max damage.
Ooh. Your hammer slams into the side of the creature,
Damn.
sending it basically up against the wall. You can hear the satisfying sounds of bones crunching as the creature just lets out and some spittle goes from its mouth. Niblet, you're up.
Point
I
of
shouted,
order.
surrender. Surrender.
Point of order. I forgot the extra magic damage, so there should
Okay.
be 4 more damage done to him.
Okay.
4 more?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
It's
Okay.
not looking so good.
It started it.
Niblet goes. Niblet walks up. I got this. And pulls out a dagger and stabs it.
Nice. Niblet the hero.
And that's a 2.
Niblet was trying to be a little too fine, stabbing it in the clawed foot, and ended up stabbing in between the elongated claws. If you were playing that game, it'd be perfectly placed, but unfortunately, not doing any damage other than to the bit of snow and dirt.
Piggly, right?
Johan, still guarding those horses?
Johan will notice that there's nothing. He pulls out a little small journal to his side and pen, starts taking notes on the battle.
Mhm.
And my companions, confident in my ability to guard the horses, charge forward brilliantly in tandem to set the creature up for 2 mighty blows that crushed it against the mountainside. Steam erupted from its mouth as it threw in its last breath before. ... I gotta wait for the next round.
Fantastic. I love it. I love it. I love it. The creature turns its head towards Hammock and says, "Dwarf, oh, sadness for you. My last gift." And with that, a stream of dark color comes from its mouth as
Oh.
Can I
it
do anything
unleashes
with
a
my
breath
shield?
weapon.
Can I block it with the shield? Is there anything I could do there?
We've all got shields. Just
Okay.
You know
I'm trying
something?
to
Because let's put it this way. Normally I wouldn't, but because the thing is hurt so badly, give me a dexterity check to see whether or not you're able to.
That is a 15.
That's with the +7.
Correct.
Slightly. You managed to get a little bit of it, but more of it ends up getting through. Dex is not a prime for you, correct?
No, it is not.
I didn't think so. All right. Actually, Hammock, I do want you to give me a dexterity check though.
okay. Is this a breath and trap save?
Breath weapon type of.
Okay, let me see if I have any special resistant to arcane magic, fear, resistant to poison if it's a poison. if that matters. Let me roll 1d20.
Is he evil? Because I
He
have
is
an
evil,
aura.
yes.
All right, you get a +2 then.
Ooh,
the
okay,
save.
so it's a d20 plus my level, plus my mod of a big whopping 0, and then plus, did you say +3 from you?
+2.
2.
Yep.
Total of d20 plus 9,
Mhm.
and I get a total of 25. And
Total of
this is
25.
It's non-prime, if that matters.
Okay. You managed to avoid the brunt of it, though some of it still catches you. You feel a burning sensation where it does hit you, and that is going to be it's only going to be 3 points of damage though.
I shout as my face and arms start to burn. Ah! Foul creature.
All right. And roll initiative.
Okay. Oh, 1d10. 6.
Castle Keeper rolled the 1. I told you. I told you. Hemic, since you seem to have a particular, you seem to be the apple of its eye.
What would Hemic do?
Hooray.
Hemic like goes to like raise his weapon to strike like a death blow in vengeance,
Mhm.
and then like pause, like he pauses, and I'm gonna hold my action until after Uther goes.
Okay.
I want to see what like what Uther's, Uther charged this guy. Uther like,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna step back and let Uther just make the decision here.
Well, the decision is I take my sword and I hook it up in a upward thrust movement to catch
Okay.
it under the chin because it just spewed acid, and I'm going to stop that nonsense. So actually, it's probably going to be essentially it's just an attack, but for flourish, it's going to be
Sure.
up underneath and then hammer down with the shield, just covering the thing to try to block its face from spewing any more acid.
Go for it.
On 20. Ooh. Not a 20, but still. 30.
What?
I rolled a 17.
Oh my goodness.
Wait a minute. That's not 30. I was
You don't
counting. I was counting that differently. 28.
Oh, I mean, just a 28. I'm
Just a 28.
roll your damage.
All
And
right.
you don't get level on your 2 hits, right?
No, that's what the bonus to hit for column is for, and that scales differently for the different classes. Like
Oh,
so,
okay.
like fighters and I think possibly paladins get a +1 for every level. It might be slightly off, but
You see that the line under the 6? Why is
Yep.
there a line under the 6 on a D8?
That makes way too much. That makes way too much sense.
yeah, I just
All right,
noticed that's on mine too.
So, 6, 11.
This D10 goes to 11.
11 damage.
Yeah, you thrust your sword up, and again, it's a little clearer in your head this time. The sword, you feel like the sword is singing as the blade punches through the lower jaw and continues its way upward through the upper jaw. So the creature is, even if it wasn't about to fall over dead, which it does,
Mhm.
wasn't going to be breathing much of anything because its mouth was, bladed shut.
Perfect.
Cut its face off.
I did.
Uh,
Immediately,
did
I take a defensive stance to look around to see if there's anything else.
okay. Yeah. the night seems to have gone somewhat quiet again.
When Johann witnesses the battle before him, he continues writing in his journal. And he's like, and a theme for our group. Once again, the dwarf makes an attack, but as a custom of his people, makes the other guy flinch so that the paladin can strike a mighty blow and finish him off. Teamwork is what brings this group together.
Teamwork
Nice.
makes the dream work.
Now you
All right.
know.
So, as a sound of combat, and Niblet, give me a wisdom check. We're gonna do another listen.
A wisdom?
Yes.
That's a natural 20.
Nice.
You're picking up the sounds again, though they're growing fainter to the point where, and you do hear some sounds of metal on metal, but it eventually goes silent.
Does it sound like it's coming from? Can I tell the direction it's coming from? Behind
Yeah,
us?
further up in the distance.
Okay. Seeing how I'm next to both Uther and him, like,
Hey, there's sound of like metal armor and stuff ahead of us. I could hear it, and then it was gone. And then that sound that we heard at the campsite, I heard that again, and then it disappeared. It's all coming from in front of us.
I keep my shield up.
Mm-hmm. Kind of look into the distance.
Okay. As you head further, the sun is really starting to make its presence known. There is sunlight even through the pass. The cold is still there, but there's a slight softening to it. There's a smell of some things burning. An acrid scent in the air. More than just fire, something more. Actually, Hammock, do me a favor, give me a wisdom check.
I can do that. 1d20 plus level plus mod. A total of 12.
Okay. The smell kind of reminds you of the scent, unfortunately, of the draconic creature's breath.
I'll say that. Like the acrid smell on the wind. It smells like the putrid acid spewed by that creature.
I have a bad feeling.
Is there any smoke on the horizon or anything like that?
Let's see, Johann.
Yes.
I think your vision is. I know you're not full elf, but I think your vision might be slightly better than most.
Yeah, I have low light vision.
Okay. Yeah. Despite the fact that the sun is not completely overhead, you are able to make out the plumes of smoke up ahead in
Right.
the direction of the dwarven hall.
I will relay this information to my companions.
Oh,
Gentlemen, we may need to get a move on.
I whistle for Theodore, and I begin making my way up.
yeah. We start the
Mounting my horse as he catches up with me.
push.
We
Okay.
must move. There might be survivors.
As you make your way, you find yourself on final approach to the entrance, and you can see up ahead the following things. First, on a hill, on a bit of a rise with a narrow path leading up to it, the massive wooden doors to the dwarven hall, they look one slightly askew or partially askew. They're not completely on their hinges. They look to have taken some kind of damage, partially from flame, and there's parts of it that are covered in some kind of black goo. You can see signs of corpses lining the narrow path. Some look to be dwarven, some more of the draconic creatures. At the base, just before the final path begins, there is a figure in plate armor, hunched over, sitting against a rock with several draconic corpses piled up in front. The figure that is sitting there does not appear to be moving.
Is it human? We're just like
A dwarf.
what's the shit? Dwarf. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, as soon as it's reasonable, I'm going to jump off my horse and rush over to the figure.
You make your way over to the figure, and you see that the visor of its helmet is off. It looks like it may have been knocked away at some point. And you realize that it is your former companion and distant kinsman, Garen.
Kinsman, speak to me. And I'll pull the helmet off. My brother.
Yeah. You pull the helmet off, and you see his face. His helmet appears to have taken several blows. His face is heavily bruised on one side. There is blood from the side of his lips as well as coming from his nose. He opens a single eye and he says, "Hammock, is that you?"
Garen, it is Uther, the bandages, the poultice in my saddle patch, please. Garen,
on it.
Stay with us. We're here. We're helps here.
He reaches for you and he grabs your. He goes, we didn't know. We didn't know. The new hall.
Can I?
Go ahead.
I was saying, can I cure Sirius him? Well, do I think it would help? Is he too far gone?
You suspect he has heavy internal injuries. He's in terrible shape.
I'm gonna cast first aid, but just an attempt to like alleviate the pain. Like I'm
right.
Like I, as an experienced healer, I probably know like he's done for, but I'm not gonna try to make that show in my face. I'm still gonna try, but I'm really just kind of alleviate his pain.
I arrive with the gear.
What happened?
Okay.
I will avenge you, Garen. What can you tell me?
We had opened a new hall for the celebration, but we thought it was a natural cave. It was not. The floor fell in, and she sent her minions, and what they did not hunt down, she did. I got as many out as I could. And he looks about and he says, I, I think they should be. I hope they're safe. I sent a few ahead, but don't go in there. Don't go in there. She rules the deep. And he's starting to fade.
I'll lay him down and cross his arms on his chest and whatever the prayer of their household is, I'll start it, and then I'll say, we will avenge you. We will cleanse these halls in your name. Your
He
family will
looks
live
at
on.
you with both concern and a mixture of serious concern, but also you note that there is gratitude as his life force leaves him and he goes to his rest. And that is where we're going to take our break.
Okay.
I hope everyone is enjoying themselves. It wouldn't be one of my games without some bit of traumatic experience, but yeah, we're going to take our break. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We will be back in about 10 minutes or so. Mics will remain live as we do so. So if you wish to talk to the players, by all means, or if the players wish to talk to you, keep going. Blue Box will be right back.
While you guys are taking care of Garen, I'm going to be searching the area for clues. And by that I mean looting the bodies.
I'm going to.
Vital information could be garnered from seeing what happened to these gentlemen. They may have healing potions or coins or something useful on them. That could help us exact the revenge we desire upon these creatures.
Depending on how urgent everything is, I mean, I'd like to bury Garen and bury other folks if it's not too late. But
the thing is that we're kind of like doing the exact opposite of what he asked us to do. Garen was like, "Don't go in there. She rules the deep," and then we're be like, "And that's why we're going in."
It's just a dwarf thing,
Well, I mean, I know. Johan has gone through this process with you guys probably many a time. We always do stuff that makes a little sense and do stuff that makes little sense. So it's just like it's all part of being a heroic adventurer.
Yeah. I mean, that's any normal group should not go in there, but we are not a normal group. We are a group of almighty ass kickers.
You guys are. I'm 1 for 1 on the fumble chart so far.
I got Robert to roll a 1 too. Maybe it's just me. Anyone that I interact with peeps rolls a 1 on their next action.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of funny. Like my normal games, I never roll 20s and I never roll 1s. I just roll a lot of 12s. So I end up hitting a lot because like when
12s are bad.
Because when you get to like that level, like your bonuses to hit are gonna keep, and so it's just like slow and steady.
I have a set of dice that my players are very well aware. Like there are certain bosses that one of the things about them is that they roll with these particular dice because they're like total cheater dice that I bought from a friend when we were young. And they're these D6s that just roll super well.
4, 5, 6. Yep.
Like they roll all really well all the time. And so I have bosses that like in their character sheet it like says that they use the cheater
They're
dice.
really bad Deadlands.
Yeah, Deadlands where like if you shoot a gun, it's like 3d6, but if you roll a 6, you roll again and add it. And so you can do one pistol shot and just
annihilate people.
It's like a cannon hit you.
Yeah, that's funny. I just had a friend last night that I was going out with. I've never played Deadlands, and he brought up that his group switched to they normally do Pathfinder, but they had switched to Deadlands, and he was trying to explain that system to me.
It's
last night.
so fun.
It's so much fun.
We play the original system, not the D20
Yeah,
version.
not the D20 version.
And it is so much fun. Like your stats, you know, you draw when you get your stats, you draw from a deck of cards. Initiative is a deck of cards. When you cast magic, it's like you draw a poker hand. And
If you do well.
if you do, you can do well, but if you get a joker, you do really well, but then something happens to you, like you get insanities and stuff. And I love that getting experience in Deadlands, you get experience by role playing your character's hindrances. That's it.
Oh,
Like I mean, if you fought a thing and survived, good job. Right? Like, did you role play while you fought the thing? Okay, now we're talking. That's probably, I think Deadlands is my second favorite system. I gotta say, with Hero being the first, but no one else likes
Yeah.
Hero. Tony
I like
likes Hero.
I
'cause he
like
took
Hero.
He took the 6 months to learn how to play it.
Yeah, fact.
Once you get it dialed in, it's super good, but
Yeah.
it's
Hey,
not
I
what
mean, you can learn to play it in an afternoon. It's the learning to build a character that takes forever.
Yeah, makes how to. It's cool because you can think up a character idea and you can make it happen, like in the rules, and you're balanced. But figuring out like Spider-Man's web grab, there's like 30 different ways to do it, and it's like which is the easiest way to make it work. You could do it as a telekinesis with a thing attached to it. You can do it with a pull. You can do it with like an extra limb that's only used to grab at 30 feet. Like, so it's like what's the easiest way to build the power? Someday we'll play Hero again. So
I
is
would
this
think
Uther?
pretty
Is this your fallen paladin character,
Mhm.
Tony? Yeah.
This
Okay.
is pre-fallen.
Oh, pre-fall. Okay. I thought I recognized him.
Mm-hmm.
So do I have to start including that in my journal? Like, you know, about how he's slowly falling from grace, like
He's on his
lying-
way.
like lying to lizard people about armies following us. That's
Mm.
not very paladin like. What's he doing?
The light spell on his sword at the wrong time.
Hey, if I
Uther used
If
to be
I-
a paladin.
honestly, if I follow Odin, a lot of stuff goes under the radar because I'm dealing with an enemy. It's not dishonorable to misdirect,
Yeah.
but it gets really iffy when you're following a god that's that shisty.
Are you doing the Allfather from Aired, or are you doing the like you are? 'Cause
Yeah,
I read that the Allfather like doesn't have followers, right? Is that what
I
it says?
saw Odin was one of the gods, and I picked him.
Oh, it says in the Allfather's thing that like the Allfather doesn't have any priests, and if you pray to him, you don't get nothing.
Works for me.
Maybe someone else is answering your call. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm not a cleric. I'm a paladin. So I followed the training, and now I have the skills.
Oh, is that? Well, I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Are there paladins in the Allfather?
I don't
If
know.
any
'Cause
actively worship. Oh, maybe it doesn't. Oh, never mind. I keep thinking paladins are, clerics.
Yep.
Silly me.
There's slight differences in Castles and Crusades, even from 2E. When I was looking at my bard stuff, I was like, oh, I would get to inspire the party or do that. I was like, nope. Inspiring the,
Nope.
there's no combat bonuses for inspiring the party. I can
So
just
what
give
was
you
it
guys-
that? Oops, sorry. What was it that killed our friend?
Oh, I mean, it looked like he just fought a bunch of the weird lizard creatures.
Gotcha.
They did mention several times, like, she did this, she hunted them down, but we don't know, we didn't learn what she was.
Okay.
And he just specifically told us not to go in, and I'm like, we're gonna go in and avenge
Yeah,
you, and
we
he's like, wait, but that's not what I meant, and then he's like, I get it, I understand, but seriously, I told you not to. It was only my dying wish, Hemmick. So that's
So,
all
yeah,
you missed.
Of course. Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize we had a break. Otherwise, I totally would have left. I sit right down and we're going to break. Sorry.
Johan's totally writing in his journal. And as Darren drew his last breath and explained the situation, so he said that, "Do not go in there. She will kill you."
At the castle of
Oh boy, here we go. I love it.
One part Lord of the Rings, 3 parts Monty Python.
Mhm.
Hey, listen, I will take that in a heartbeat.
My character's
No one-
claiming Pippin.
Yeah, as long as it's fun. A lot of people get kind of hardcore, you know.
Like hardcore sometimes.
They want to take it serious, or some people want to be silly.
Not on a one shot though.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
on a
yeah.
one shot.
Listen, I was gonna say if you ever stop by my the Friday night game, you'll understand that serious is not an option for very long. We are going to take this back live. All right. So, for those of you just joining us, our party has been adventuring together for some time. They are all, for those who are wondering, they're all level 7. They had been invited for a Brewfest celebration by an old companion of theirs, a former party member, who had left the party some time back to help with the opening of a new dwarven hall set in the Jotun Mountains. They had already created a home there, but they were looking to expand, and they had last heard from him about 3 months ago. On the way to the hall, the party was beset by a couple of dreams, as well as some whispers on the wind, or cries on the wind, as it were, heard by our gnome illusionist, Niblet Pinky Toe. And with due haste, they started journeying through the very, very early dawn, where they were ambushed by a single draconic figure, who, in addition to taking some shots at them with an arrow and slightly wounding Uther the paladin, before giving into the massive damage done by both the dwarven cleric as well as Uther, unleashed a breath weapon on Hemmick. So, with even further haste, they realized that there was smoke coming from the area of the dwarven hall. The doors were found to be askew, and there was combat on there was signs of combat both on the narrow path up to the doors, as well as the area at the base of the path where they found their companion Garen mortally wounded, warning them with his last dying breaths not to go into the hall that she now rules, which of course they decide that party's going to do. Garen led them to believe that at least some had managed to escape, and there are plenty of signs in the form of dead corpses that he had a hand in helping others escape at the final cost of sacrificing his own life. So, before we get started once again, let's go through our characters really quickly, our players and our characters. Tony?
I'm playing Uther Umberwood. He's a human of dark hair and green eyes. He's about 6'2", lanky, but you never know it as he wears plate mail. The armor itself, as well as the sword, are green in hue, so shiny metallic with the slightly just sort of off silver into sort of a verdant green. He has a warhorse named of Theodore, and he is quiet but fairly intense individual.
All right. John.
I'm Dimigund. I'm playing Hemmick of Turok Mall, who's he's like 4'10", extremely giant, thick dwarf, wearing some battered plate mail and armor and weathered gear. He serves his purpose, going throughout the land, trying to heal it and repair it as he can. What else to say? He's honorable and proud, and he's currently extremely worried about his brethren's new the place that we're going. I can remember what it's called. It's not a palace. It's a hall.
Yeah.
Brew hall. It was like a celebration hall or some.
Well, they had made a home. Your understanding is that they had already made a home within the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
However, they were opening a new, and they're looking to expand further in, and that seems to have been when things went wrong.
So yes, I'm playing Hemmick of Turok Mall, researching this new issue at his kinsman's hall.
All right, great. Jeff?
I'm playing Johann Johansson the 11th, not be mistaken for his father, who is an actual real adventurer. He gets through life mostly on his looks and following great adventurers and writing about their tales.
All right. And watching horses. Let's not forget he is an excellent watcher of horses.
He has mostly leveled through quest game speed.
We're just power leveling you. Sit in the back, soak up XP.
All right. And next, Toriano.
I am playing Niblet Pinky Toe, a gnome illusionist. His chaotic and tendencies when it comes to large groups of people, likes to cause mischief wherever he can. Has orange hair and blue eyes, very well dressed for a gnome with, pressed pants and a red dress shirt with ruffles and laces on it, and gold cufflinks on the collar, the dark brown shoes, and does have a black cloak. And right now is saddened by Hamlet's loss of kin right now.
Okay. So, couple of things that you've, as you're, I believe Hammock wanted to lay Garen's body to rest. While you're doing that, one of the things you notice is there are signs of a number of dwarves, possibly at least a number of them being children, and a few adults, though not clear, male or female, heading off further into the mountain range. There, you do note with some relief that there is no sign of the dragonkin following, which leads you to believe that Garen's last stand at least served its intended purpose in helping them escape. However, the dwarven home,
This was dwarves
within the mountain, smoking, stands before you.
Robert, did I find any clues on the dwarves or the dragon king?
What kind of clues were you looking for?
Well, coins, potions, any I'm looking to see also if any of them have a flask of ale so I could pour out for my dead homie.
You don't find, actually, yeah, you note that one of the things that you note is that Garen's armor,
I should make an exception. I wouldn't do Garen because first of all.
Right.
And they is burying him. That would be
Okay.
very rude of me to go up to him and go, pardon?
Yeah, no, actually, you don't. Mm-hmm. On the Dragonkin, you don't. Other than some armaments, which kind of seem a bit haphazard. There's there's no sense of regularity. One is carrying a warhammer. One has a hand axe. You're not seeing any sense of organization to them. They don't appear to have, other than some the robes that they're wearing. They don't appear to have any items of their own.
Are the weapons dwarven made, or do they look like they were like crafted like by like are they like hewed out of stone and like from the cave, or
you know something? I'm not even going to have you roll it. Yeah. You know something? You're pretty convinced that everything that they have belonged to the dwarves. Well, at least the armaments.
Gentlemen, these dragonkin are not only backstabbing tavern dwelling creatures, but they were stealing those dwarves' equipment and then killing them. The horror! What kind of creature does that?
All of them.
All of them.
All of you steal dwarven made things.
What? Who's all of us? I've never stolen a dwarven thing.
I reach out.
not you.
Now, mind you, I may have stolen
Half elves,
a
humans.
I reach
sign
out
or
and I
two.
put my hand on
maybe a
Hammock's
few
shoulder.
tales of glory, because I mean that's doing that's not stealing. That's honoring you guys by telling those stories, right? Jeez.
I
You all
assist,
wish your forges were as hot as ours.
I assist Hammock in dealing with Garen's body.
Okay. Sure enough,
So-
you're able. It takes you a little bit of work because the ground itself is rather hard here. Mixture of the rocky terrain as well as the temperatures here being much colder.
Mm-hmm.
But you are able to bury him under a pile of stone, as it were.
Hemmick, what armor are you wearing, Hemmick?
He was wearing plate armor that had been. Well, among the things you notice is that it looks like he had to put his plate armor on in a hurry. There are spots where it wasn't completely bound together, which may have contributed to some of his wounds. Whatever happened, it happened. It was rather.
You're talking about Garen, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Garen. Yes.
What kind of armor does Hemmick have on?
Plate
Hammock
mail,
has
I believe.
mail.
Okay. I was gonna say, hey, maybe your brothers could help you out. Give you a little upgrade. Nope.
And I guess while we're burying Garen, I'll be discussing basically the plan for delving into this hall with Uther or anybody else that wants to talk about what our battle plans and stuff are.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking we should take Garen's advice and just leave. And update, end of session. We're done.
While they're doing all that, I'm gonna watch down the way behind where we were told not to enter, just to make sure that nothing's coming towards us.
You go up to the doors?
Yeah, I'm gonna more or less stay in guard and just watch.
Okay. When
Listen.
you get up to the doors, there is the smell of smoke from within. There's the acidic smell that was mentioned before is much more prevalent here. You see that there are parts of the doors where on some of the metal seems to have been affected by possibly the breath weapons. There are claw marks, not overly large, but but at at kind of like human height, it occurs to you that they might have been the kind of creatures might have been attacking hand to hand, and possibly with breath weapons, and then just grabbing weapons as they made their kills.
Mm-hmm.
Appears desperate.
They had the element of surprise. It's,
Perhaps desperate or zealot.
they wanted to maintain that as long as possible.
Robert,
Yes.
so it appears that the Dragon King fought their way from the inside out, right?
Yes.
I'm going to check the gate again because did the gate get knocked inward or outward?
Well, that's the thing. You know that it's kind of knocked outward. Not. Yeah. It was definitely knocked out. Knocked outward. There was, as you're looking, you realize what do you call it? Actually, are you there with him, Johan?
With who?
With Niblet. Niblet is really at the doors.
Yes. Yes, if he's at the door, then yeah.
Okay. So, as you take a peek, there's a couple things that become clear. One, when this happened, the doors were actually barred. The mechanisms, the great mechanism they have for, shutting themselves in if as needed, were in place. This was not totally unusual. I mean, they have the dwarves had machines that they could use to open as needed. That mechanism seems to have been crushed. The large bar that would normally bar the door is off of its own hinge and kind of lying diagonally, part of it on the ground, part of it still attached. The doors themselves are askew just enough that you'd be able to get in and bring the horses if you so desired. But something hit, your feeling is something hit this door really, really, really hard.
From the inside?
Yes.
I would have relayed the bit about Garen said that the new hall, the floor collapsed in the new hall, and down below there's whatever the lady is along with her minions, and they flooded upward.
Did they retreat? Did they retreat back down, or are they chasing the refugees?
Give me a wisdom check.
Me?
Yeah.
Because I was asking. Yeah. 8. Or total of 15.
You try to keep track of the various footfalls and the claw prints and such. It's a bit chaotic here. There's a lot of it. You're not able to find any suggestion that they made them way back inward. All the movement that you can see so far is going outward.
We saw the one scout.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing really
You
since then.
came across a trail on the path. There were several dwarven corpses, but there was quite a few of the draconic corpses on your way. There was definitely a fight. It looks like the fight made its way all the way down the path, and Garen appears to have been the last dwarf standing in terms of those doing the fighting, where he ended up fighting 4 of them at the base.
We saw the scout, and there's bodies here. Whatever hit the inside of this door, as much as these doors are opened, I don't think it left. that may be the lady. That tells us the lady might still be inside.
Yeah, I'm just kind of peeking in, kind of watching to make sure that, while you guys are doing the burial ceremony and stuff for your kin, that nothing comes out. And if I see something, I'll give the holler. I'm not going to enter it until you guys are ready.
Let
Robert,
me finish up.
I'm going,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go through my trivia notes that I have in my journal and go through my knowledge and try to see if I can recall any legends or stories that sound similar to what happened to the dwarves here. Like a thing of races that have buried, have attacked from below, or if it may have happened to other holds in the past, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make a check.
In the meantime, I would like to say to Hemmick, as we put the last of the cairn together, and I say, my friend, in your heart, do you believe that it's time for vengeance, or do we better serve the escaping, your escaping kin?
So I got a 28 total for that.
Ooh.
Okay, so at times, you know, going backwards, that there have been times in the past where the dwarves, and not necessarily just the dwarves, but just in general, mining groups have gone too deep. But the description, what you're aware of from what Garen had told you in his messages, it didn't sound like they had gone very deep to do this. Maybe further into the mountain, sure, but not not into the depths where dangers such as those from like the Underdark would be an issue. And you're also well known enough that Garen and his clan were the kind to be conscious of those types of things. So whatever they found, they were not. It never occurred to them that this would be there.
Now, I was able to see the initial breath weapon attack from the first Dragonkin. That's pretty good. If looking at what blasted through the doors, because remember you described that there was bubbling on the doors from goo and from flame, I think. And you also mentioned that the does it look like it would have to be like was the force big enough from one creature, or was it like a whole collection of like a whole bunch of dragons breathing? Like are there like splatter marks all over, or is it just like one big, kind of mark?
As you examine as you're doing the examination, your examination eventually takes you to the cross beam, and the beam itself looks like something slammed into the center of it.
How high up is the cross beam?
The cross beam would have been at about 4 feet in height. But it's now kind of, well, the one side of it actually probably more about 6 feet in height, because they were using, like I said, they were using mechanisms to do this. They were not lifting it themselves. But the one end is sitting on the ground.
So can I surmise that whatever did this was a lot bigger than these little the Dragonkin we've been fighting? Or
yes.
Did they seem okay?
Yes, that is easy for you to figure out.
I will pass along the information that I gathered from my observations to my fellow group members. I know you guys are busy, gentlemen, but I'm just here with your burials and whatnot, but I'm trying to keep you in the loop.
Hemmick's going to answer Uther's question about, are we better suited to go in or to try to follow the refugees? Fighting an entrenched dwarf is a near impossible task. And I don't know what these creatures are, but it should be easy to surmise that if they get the chance to entrench, they will be equally as difficult to fight in dwarven halls. I don't think they've had a chance yet to do that. I think if we're going to strike, we need to strike now. And whatever it is, it's going to be large. I mean, it could be some sort of dragon mother, just from the evidence that we've seen.
Uther smiles slightly. Vengeance it is.
I was thinking about that Emmett, but if it's as large as it needs to be to slam that beam and crush that gear mechanism, it may not have left because at the moment it can't leave. Too big to get through the front door.
Are we ready then?
To fight a dragon?
I'm ready to fight a dragon.
I was thinking a heroic tale of that. I'll try to think of the ones that did not end in tragedy.
I kneel and pray, draw my blade and begin praying.
Gonna die.
As you pray, okay. So as you pray, the sword in your hand gives you a sense of comfort. There's a warmth to it that you don't remember feeling before, though. It feels like it's something new, but yet it feels very familiar, as if an old friend has been guiding you with each swing of the sword. The warmth envelops you, and you find yourself wanting this challenge. There's great evil here, and it must be purged. Hemmick, as you look about, your warhammer is giving you a different feel. There's a feel of rage. There's this is an assault on your people. This is something that must not stand.
I have to hammer tightly.
There's a feel of vengeance being requested, a call. Niblet
will have.
Niblet, you're looking around, and the one thing that you note is it is quiet. It is very, very quiet. And Johan, the other thing that you note is that there does seem to be some torchlight further in. This is the first entry hall. There, you know that up ahead, you can see up ahead that there are steps down to the first landing into the main hall.
Robert, have we been here before? Just out of curiosity.
No. You have actually. No, you have not been here before. But Garen has spoken often enough of it.
So I step over to Theodore, and I comfort him, and I say, "My old friend, we will be leaving you on the surface. Take care of the other horses." And I pull the essentially put wrap the rein around him so that it doesn't hinder him in any way, and shoot him down the mountain.
The horse, almost as if in perfect understanding, gives you a neigh, basically rubs his head against your hand, and then makes his way down down the mountain, almost corralling and neighing at the other horses to follow. And they sense the leader and take off after him.
I sling my shield and my sword, and
Mhm.
I nod to the rest and begin walking towards the entrance.
Okay. So,
Now,
go ahead.
Uther, I did notice that there's a few torches ahead, but being dwarves, we don't know how far past those initial chambers those torches go. So you may want to have some sort of backup light source in preparation. Thing is, the
I
rest
have-
of us. Good, good.
I intend to light a torch on the torch ahead.
Excellent. You make your way from the small entry hall into down the set of stairs. The stairs themselves are not overly narrow. They're wide enough for two across, though it makes sense to stay centered on them, mostly because of the fact that there's a long way to go if you should fall off either side. There are signs of combat. There you can see blood sprinkling along the stairs, and in some cases, a substantial amount of it, though the stairs themselves are clear of any corpses. You find yourself making your way to the main hall. The main hall is rather large. It goes off in basically into the dark distance. Along the sides, there are what appear to be spiraling staircases cut out of the rock, leading. And as your gaze goes upwards, you notice that there looks like there may have been dwarven homes carved also into the rock, almost overhanging the hall itself. Very shallow bits of flickering torchlight and possibly lantern light illuminate some of the living quarters. There is no sense of movement though, other beyond the light playing playing tricks with the creation of shadows. And once again, there is no sound. There does not seem to be any exits beyond the area, beyond the staircases going above, other than to continue deeper into the mountain. You do note that on the ground level of the hall, there are what appear to be makeshift, or well, not makeshift, but some rock carved stalls, and other areas where tents and even wooden lean-tos were created, possibly for the creation of a marketplace here. Bits of it, some of it has been shattered by weaponry. Some of it looks like it may have caught fire and burned. But there's just a lot of destruction here. There are both dwarven and draconian corpses on the ground in various places. Most of the dwarves are male, though you do note that there are some of the female dwarves were also fighting as they normally would. Thankfully, the one blessing is there are no sign of children. And the hall itself just feels very, very dead.
Robert, our first question is, do the female dwarves have beards?
Yes.
I'm going to write that in my journal. Female dwarves of this particular clan have beards.
Not all of them, but yes.
And then the second one is I'm going to continue writing my journal. I'm going to try to do quick sketches of what I'm seeing, like quick for my records for history's sake. Try to get a quick sketch of what the hall looks like and what, and that way we could also, like, if in an emergency, we could use it as a quick map for escape if we need to.
Okay.
As I pass the torch, I'm going to go ahead and grab it, unless it's bigger than a hand torch.
Okay. Standard. It would be a standard hand torch.
Okay, and I'll just carry it until it goes out and light a new one from it.
Yeah, I'm going to be listening as we're walking down, intently listening for any sounds we might hear.
Okay. You make your way to the far end of the main hall, and you find what should have been another set of double doors, except the doors themselves are flat on the ground. It takes a moment, and it isn't until the torchlight grows closer that you fully realize what the story was here. They've been completely knocked off the hinges that had been created. Something hit this door with incredible power, and just you also note that as you look about, you see larger claw marks cutting into the stone. Some of the corpses have been completely torn apart.
So as Hemmick walks, he's walking slowly, like while everyone else is kind of like searching the bodies and listening and things. And Hemmick is walking slowly but with purpose, directly towards like where the source of the claw marks are coming from, like the source of the chaos. And there's just like a seething rage, like burning in him.
Yeah, I'll follow him,
and it's just a dedicated slow walk.
I'll follow behind him, ready, knowing we perhaps go to our doom, knowing there is no stopping this particular type of rage.
There is no light whatsoever in the large room beyond. Whatever torchlight or lantern light may have been has been taken out or extinguished. The acidic scent that had assaulted Hemmick's senses is more prevalent here. Even to the point where the smell of torches that may have been here once is not even present. Hemmick, there comes a point as you get closer, you note that you look into the hall and you can see portions of where it had. There look to have been decorations along some of the walls. However, where the tables and such for festivities should have been, there is instead what appears to be a giant pit where the floor should be.
I relay this to Uther. Ahead in the feast hall, the library, was it library? Was it like tapestries and stuff? What's it called?
Yes, tapestries, yeah, and such.
The feast hall.
Yeah, the feast hall. There's simply a pit in the middle of the hall and destruction.
As though it has been dug up from underneath.
Did it fall in, or does it look like it blew up through the floor?
Your first sense is that it just caved in.
Okay.
But
I believe it is.
But here's the thing. You're having a hard time coming to grips with the idea that your kinsman would not have known that this was structurally unsafe.
No.
This had to have been a subterfuge. My kinsmen, they know there's stonework. They would never build over unstable ground. And I'll light a torch. I'll take out a torch and light it off of Uther's, and then head into the room. Well, I'll pause and
Okay.
Johann, Niblet, we venture forth.
As you head into the room, what you note is that there appears to be a number of grappling hooks with ropes descending into the darkness. And in several spots where there may have been even more that had been removed, you find a couple of hooks with no rope attached to them. As you step into the hall, you note that there's no signs of any combat having taken place here. Some of the tapestries are kind of ripped, but not by claw marks, almost as if something had just caused it to be torn off. Torn off what was attaching it to the walls. But whatever happened here was sudden, and the ropes themselves are afford the only clues as to potentially the creatures having either made their way upwards or the dwarves attempting to go downward.
Kinsman, what did you do to draw the ire of such an event? I'll approach the hole and try to look down, see what's down there.
Niblet, where are you at the moment?
I'm following these guys in.
Okay. I want all four of you to give me a wisdom check.
I'm good at these historically. Oh, what do you know?
What do you know? Oh man, okay.
17.
Roll 1d20 plus 7 plus 2. Total of a 20.
Total of 20?
23. 23 is what I got.
I have a total of 17.
And Johan?
I had a 17 as well, non-prime.
Okay. Yeah, no, all of you hear it. Oh, I can hear new approaching. Oh, more toys for me. My children have woke me, and they have all gone to play, leaving me here alone. Come, dwarf. Come, human. Come, tiny one. Come, half-elf. Come join me. I want to play, and you shall make such great toys.
Oh, Uther, that thing needs to die.
I agree. Let's go.
Johann's gonna look down at Niblet. He's gonna whisper to him. In case of combat, hide behind Uther. Not me, Uther.
Too creepy to live.
Now give him like a thumbs up.
Okay, so how would you like to do this?
I step forward to the edge, having all of us just heard this coming up from below. I say again in a very imperious voice, but very, very much polite and courteous. Shall we meet you below, lady, or will you come join us here? In just the loudest voice as I can muster.
Oh, such a kind and tasty looking treat. Oh, I will come to you if you like, or you can come to me. It's no matter. You will die all the same. They will all die in the end.
I move my hands to signal the people behind, and I say, "Then come, let us have at thee." And I take
Yeah.
steps back.
Check the
Draw
demo.
weapons and
She said she could see that you look like a tasty
Mhm.
treat, not like you smell like a tasty treat or you
Correct.
feel like it. That means
Back
she
up,
can
back
see
up,
you.
back up, back up, back
Yeah,
up.
so that
can we back up into the? Should we back up all the way into the hall that's lit, like with a market?
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely.
Yeah, let's.
I drop my torch so that as it gets closer, I can still see, but then
Yeah.
back into that room.
Okay. The first thing that you note is the sound of rushing air, which quickly becomes the more of a violent wind. The breeze that kicks up unnaturally this far on ground would push you backwards if you were not already moving in that direction. As the powerful sound of wind and wings thrusting this large creature upward. As it appears from the pit, it is a deep black in color. You can see the scales, the slight reflection of the torchlight on the scales, the malevolent gaze as its mouth faces you, teeth bared, green eyes staring at you. Oh, we shall have such fun! Such fun! My children have woke me, and now it is time to play. Let's roll initiative.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I got this.
it is a dragon?
I got this.
Oh, it's a dragon,
I got
yes.
this.
Okay. I assume.
1d10. Come on. Don't screw this up. A 9.
Ooh.
Well, that's good. The castle keeper has a 5. So here's what I want to know, because you're in the hall. You're in the main hall. This is a large creature. How do you want to be arrayed? I think you kind of figured what was coming, so you might have a sense of how you might want to approach this. Where do you want to be in relation to this thing?
I'm going to center myself in the middle, directly in its line of sight, and then try to keep myself centered to maintain among my allies so that they get the benefit of my courage, my aura of courage.
I'm gonna try to be off to the side a bit, like 45. Just so if it does a breath weapon cone, that I'm too close for it to hit both Uther and I at the same time, ideally. However, that works out in the abstract. That's Hemmick's plan.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay, and Johan.
hey, whichever side that Hemmick is on, I'm going to go diagonally backwards on the other side, and while I'm doing so, I'll be casting, because I know how brave Uther is, and by brave Johan thinking foolish and about to get himself killed.
Yep.
He'll strum a little inspiring tune on his lute, on his zither, and give him a bonus of +3 to his next saving throw if it happens within the next 7 rounds.
Cool.
Nice.
I have a question. It says
Shoot.
divine aura here. It does not say how far it goes. And then my other question is, does that count towards me as well? Or is
It does count.
only me.
I believe it does count towards you. Hold on a
okay.
second. Let me take a look.
So yeah, I had a DC. I had an AC of 20, and I didn't know it.
Magical barrier around the paladin that conveys +2 to armor class. Actually, I think it might be only you.
Oh,
That's interesting.
Rip.
yeah. But I still have an aura of courage for anybody close to me, within 10 feet of me.
The courage is still really
Yeah,
good.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not within 10 feet.
Yeah.
Wait, I
Wait,
have to
everybody
be.
get within a 10-foot cone.
Oh,
work
I need,
well.
I need, I need to be within 10 feet of you, actually.
Yeah.
So can I slightly change my position to
Sure.
being 10 feet away along the circle? Not that I think that that's going to be far enough to stay out of the breath weapon, but I need to be close enough to heal you if I need to.
Mm-hmm.
That the moment when you realize that most heals are touches.
Oh, I gotta touch him. It's fine if not. Would I have a chance to cast Bless before it comes up out of the hole, or would that need to wait until initiative?
No, actually, I'm going to give you, because of the fact that you were sitting, basically waiting for it, I'll let you cast Bless beforehand.
Okay, so I will have cast Blessed. Everyone gets +1 to hit, +1 on saving throws against fear,
Nice.
and
Oh, we're really not afraid.
it has -1. Wait, what? Oh no, that's Bane. So yeah, +1 to hit and +1 save versus fear.
Nice.
All right.
Hey,
I
Robert,
like
if,
it.
While if he's allowed to cast Bug, could I have done my inspire at the same time so that I could?
Absolutely.
I'm going to put as I'm moving backwards diagonally, I'm going to put the loot back at my side and take out my longbow.
Let's do
Sounds
it.
good. Niblet, where are you in all this?
Meanwhile, outside.
Yeah,
My little feet are running as fast as I can. No, just kidding.
My turn to watch the horses. My turn.
the dwarf children are safe.
I was always told you kill it from the inside, not the outside. I'm gonna be. So as it's coming straight at us, I want to be off into the right side of it, but more in front.
Off to the right side, but basically, so you'd still be kind of facing the creature head on, or?
Yeah, so where its head's at, I want to be off to the right hand side of it, but facing towards it.
Okay. All right. Good. You all learn one of the things not to do with the dragon. Well, one of them, but okay. So, yeah,
The
let's
big one
roll
is
initiative.
Don't fight them.
Oh, what fun is that?
We already
Listen,
did.
listen. We've got dungeons, we've got dragons, we've got, well, we can call this a castle, and you guys are kind of on a crusade, so we're hitting all the things tonight.
So
Mhm.
John rolled a 9 and you rolled a 5, correct? We already have initiative.
Yes. All right. So,
I don't want to go after.
yeah, actually, Niblet, why don't you go first? Since I'm assuming you're casting a spell.
Yep, I'm gonna cast color spray
Ooh,
at its face.
right in the face.
All right.
So, I'm sure its level is the same as ours or better. So it gets a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. All right.
Yeah, it pretty much neglects. I can't speak it now. It negates the spell if it passes. So
All right. So let's see.
otherwise, it falls asleep for one round.
Yeah, I think it's saved.
Why?
It's
Because
so
I said that.
peaceful in here.
Because I said that it saved.
It falls asleep and falls all the way back down. That would be awesome.
Because he said it'll fall asleep. Nope, it saves.
Yep.
I mean, to be fair, that's that would have been a very bad day for me. It's like, why did I give you an illusionist?
Utility
You know
spells,
me.
man.
You know me.
I know.
What did I do with the druid you gave me?
Hey, listen, I love what you did with the druid. That was great. That was very, very well timed choice of spells. Yeah, so color spray goes off. The dragon kind of like shake his head and just, you'll have to do better than that. Johan, you've got a bow. Take a
Johann
shot.
looks at, sees his friend Niblet cast his mighty spell, which he has seen work on many a creature. But apparently, this dragon is much more powerful than they were. And he makes a mental note to put how epic defensive against the arcane arts this dragon had before letting loose a shot. Oh, I get 16 plus 7, 23. Does that hit?
That's going to hit, yeah.
Gentlemen, notice that I'm now 1 for 2 with my arrows. I've increased my accuracy by 50%. And I did 4 points of damage, I think.
4 points of damage? Yeah, no, you do 4 points of damage. Hold on a second.
Oh, stop tickling me. Oh,
there is something I need to check because
What's going on with this now?
okay, yeah, I had to confirm, make sure that I was rolling the right die for its hit points.
So you're saying I could have killed it? Excellent.
No.
Dragon's Bane arrow. Whoosh.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second.
I was aiming for the non-scaly part. I've seen the movies.
You did 4 points of damage, you said? All right.
It's part of my plan to do just a little bit of damage so that it doesn't feel like I'm doing damage, but it's not noticing me.
You do not want to be the most dangerous thing in the room other than the dragon.
That'd be a cool
Is what I'm hearing
skill.
here.
Like you purposely take half damage to get one less number on the random like target die or something.
All right. Yeah. Let's go with Uther.
Is it within? So it's still flying over the hole, or has it landed?
Oh no, it's landed in front of you.
Oh, okay. So I'll what I'll do is I will I will shout out it. I am your foe, and I will slam my sword against the shield as I'm running up, and then take a slice at it.
Swing.
Swing, bada. Off the table. That is a 16 for a total of 26. Because
That is good. That is going to hit.
Yeah. All right.
You had me worried when you started. You don't start with 16. That was like.
All right. So now we have it'll be this D8.
Let me guess an 8.
Yes. Plus 5. So 13.
13.
Ew.
That's how it started. And I am right dead center, right in the middle, having tried to attract its attention.
The paladin, do you get 2 attacks? Is that like just a warrior thing, or like?
As far as I know, I only get one.
Yeah, unless your sheet says you get 2, you only get 1.
So my race abilities are completely empty. Am I supposed to have something? Or
No, because you're human and you get a third primary attribute.
Yeah,
Clever.
being human was cool.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because there are some really, some of the racial stuff is great, but the primary having a third primary attribute is really big.
Yeah, and I don't have any like smite or anything. I can't like. It doesn't say it.
Not unless your paladin abilities say it.
Nope.
You've got your plus 2
so
AC aura.
You swing, and you're pretty sure as you hit, you heard a female voice in your head say, "Yes, good hit." The dragon doesn't seem to think. The dragon itself doesn't seem to think so.
Okay, good. Because I thought I was hearing the dragon.
But the dragon itself screeches, "You dare!"
I do.
Hemmick.
Hemmick is going to raise his warhammer, and he's going to shout, "You are a sickness on the body of this plane, and you will be purged." And he's going to swing his warhammer.
All right, swing.
Roll 1d20
Bada.
plus
Rage
6
of
plus
heart.
1. I think. Do I feel ragey? Am I anything more than just like being pissed off? Am I magically pissed off?
You're the when you hit it'll something will happen.
You will see.
Okay, so I got a total of 20.
AC 20. Quick check. Too many things here.
I rolled a
AC
natural
20 does not
natural-
hit.
Ouch.
Don't whiff. That's my action.
You swing the dragon. You swing and you do make contact with one of its scales. However, the dragon almost doesn't even seem to notice. You get the feeling that you did not connect well enough.
Got it.
The dragon looks down at Uther and actually looks down at both of you and says, "You dare use such weapons against me?" Opens its mouth and breathes. I need a dexterity check from Uther and Hemmick.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
I don't know why I'm bothering.
Me neither.
Yeah. No.
Okay, this is untrained. Roll 1d20 plus 0 plus 0. Do I get any saving bonus from you? I don't get anything from you.
Not from me.
The
And it's
courage thing.
only from fear, I think.
Is its breath weapon made of fear?
No.
No. Okay.
Oh no!
Shoot.
For me,
Because if
it's
it
just-
was,
You'll
I would have
learn to
lost-
fear the breath weapon.
No,
I'll give you that much.
no, it's no. I do get plus. It's all saves, not just fear. That's good. For me.
120 plus 0.
Now the
Here comes-
dwarf has all kinds of bonuses.
Oh, plus level. Oh, thank God. Okay.
Yeah, plus your level. Yes.
A total of 16.
Total of
Total-
16.
Total of 13.
Hey,
We're-
Luther, you remember? Did you catch your +3 that I gave you?
No.
Plus 3 for.
Oh, the
Inspiration.
inspiration. I
But
got a
that's
total
only
of
for
19.
fear. That's only
No,
for fear, right?
Mine is for a single saving throw with the next.
Oh,
7 rounds.
his is. Oh,
Heck
right,
yeah.
right.
So a natural 9, or excuse me, a 19 total then.
All right. Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Hold on
Was
one
that-
second.
Did you inspire me or did you inspire
Hey,
Hemmick?
you only had 1 round, and then I took a shot, and then I was going to do it again this round on you, and then
Perfect. No worries.
By the way, that inspiration.
I will
Oh
inspire,
goodness.
I will inspire you to be the best looking
That
corpse.
that inspiration was a very, very, very good idea
Yeah.
because with the rolls that I just had, you'd be in some serious trouble without it. Both of you take.
So I am in serious trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was your total, Luther?
Me 13.
Even with the +3?
Oh, I didn't have a +3.
Oh, it was just on Hemmick, Johan?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ew.
Uther
I'm
got
sorry.
Slammed.
Uther, actually,
I got you.
hold on a
Uther.
second. Hemmick, you're going to take 14 points of damage.
Okay.
Uther, you're going to
fine.
take 20. Uther, you're going to take 29.
Oh, Uther.
29. I'm okay.
I'm going to give him a big thumbs up.
He's okay for this round.
I am bleeding, but I am okay.
Yeah, you're bleeding. You're burning with the feel of a caustic, acidic
Oh, geez.
liquid as it goes over you. You can smell your armor. Feel your armor like smells like it's burning, which is
Mhm.
really weird considering it's
Crazy
Wait.
ozone. Yeah.
Someone
Hey, Robert,
restored
you see in the chat?
Uther's health in the chat. Is that a thing?
wow. That was that,
Divine
okay.
intervention.
All right. I might work that in. I can find a way to work that in, maybe.
What?
This is the
That's
joy of playing on stream. People can pay to fuck with our game, man. Sorry for the language.
Right?
So, yeah, John, I think you won initiative last one, so
So am
Roll-
I healed or is that coming?
that's coming. That's not
Okay.
going to be instant.
Okay,
Fair.
1 sec. Roll 1d10.
Look at this.
Come on, luck. A 5.
Yeah, Castle Keeper's got a 1, so my fun continues. All right. That's all right, Asher. Listen, hey, you want to spend 30,000 points? We'll find a way. Hemmick, why don't you go
Wow.
first?
Okay, let me look up Cure Serious real quick. I'm just trying to see how much it heals if I should heal myself. 3d8. I'm not familiar enough to know if it's like 5e where it's like healing. Don't try to out heal the damage coming in. Should I do damage or should I heal myself? I'm a little bit torn. I don't know.
I mean,
Flip
it's
a
going to be
coin.
whatever it is. That's what it'll be.
What would Hemmick do?
I want to know what this hammer does. Hemmick would be mad. So I'm gonna try to swing it like I feel the radiant aura coming off of Uther, and Hemmick is inspired. Come on
Okay.
now, 1d20 plus 6 plus 1. I need a better than I got a 13 last time and I missed.
Come on.
Yeah, total of 11.
Oh.
Yeah, Hemmick's having a bad day.
Hemmick's trying.
That acid, you're wiping acid out of your face. You're gonna need some serious healing of your own,
Yeah.
and possibly fix that beard that's kind of like melting away.
No, not my beard. Ah! It's just like a melty like hair goo now. Oh.
Yeah.
Nibble it.
That's Hemmick's action. Yep.
Nibble it. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna let somebody else go. I'm trying to look up something real quick.
Okay, Johan.
Save us,
Johan,
Johan.
seeing the blast of, I'm guessing it's acid that came down on it.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay,
Black
and
dragon.
Uther is the one who failed the saving throw.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, then I will like, oh, holy moly, I can't have the hero of my epic story die on me. That would be embarrassing. He puts his bow down.
Restart
and
the story.
brings out his zither and starts playing it. Uther, you're a mighty man. You need to make your saving throws as much as you can. And it inspires him this round.
Thank you. I
It
feel
gives you
inspired.
a +3 on your next saving throw for the next 7 rounds.
Fair enough.
All right. Nibble it. Do you still need time?
Yeah, I'm trying to read between two spells right now, trying to make sure I know I cast the right one the right way.
All right, Uther,
Mhm.
you're up.
So the spray down on me, the shield's over. I'm covered and coated in this stuff. I turn and I thrust forward, trying to bury my sword as far into the thing as I possibly can, aiming for the same injury that I made last.
Okay, go for it.
Come on. That is a
Go, Uther.
10 plus 10. That is 20. That does not hit, as I recall.
I think
20,
missed.
20 is not going to do it. No.
Yep.
Wait, did you count bless?
I did.
I got inspired, but that's on a saving throw. Wait, you guys still have bless on?
Yep.
Okay, is that a +1?
Nope.
He already counted it.
I counted it.
Oh, okay. Yep,
'Cause I
nope, that's
have,
not good enough.
I have just a +6 plus a mod of 1 plus the
Your sword.
sword.
The man.
So that already counts. Wait.
I thought you had +10
is
without
this-
bless.
I have +9 with bless. Without bless, sorry. trying to make sure. So the
Wait.
numbers for the to hit is what and what?
Your bonus to hit.
Right.
Going to be your bonus to hit. Your strength modifier. Plus the bonus on your weapon, which is a +2.
My strength modifier should be a 2.
What do you have? What's your strength?
It's 15, and it says
15's
1.
15's a +1.
Oh, okay. Then no, yeah. I think if this is accurate, it's a total of 20.
Okay. Nibble it.
I'm
Use
gonna
it or lose
cast.
it.
I'm gonna cast blur. Let's make it on Hammock.
Nice.
Okay.
He gets a +2 to his AC.
The drag.
It appears he appears distorted and grants a +2 bonus to armor class.
You touch him.
Yeah, I'll walk over and touch him. I'm not afraid of that.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, I want to see the gnome in the acid cone. That'd make my day.
The dragon looks down at her, says, "Oh, such a pretty thing. You would make such a fine toy, or even yet better, to become my favorite minion. All you have to do is toss that nasty sword away and join me. I promise I will make it swift for your allies." As it attempts to do so, clawing, what do you call it? Both clawing at Hammock, I'm sorry, Hammock and at Niblet. So the first one on Hammock. Ooh, natural 20.
Oh man,
Nice.
bring it.
Well, yeah.
We played in a
let's see.
session the other day, and I got crit like 3. It was like crit, heal, crit, and it was just my
Yeah.
character just kept going down and up, down and up. So I'm used to it.
All right, not bad. Only 5 points of damage.
So I'll take it.
Huh?
And the other claw swipes at Niblet, who had just wandered over. That is AC 21.
Oh yeah, that hits.
That's only 1 point of damage.
That's all he's got.
It's going to forego its bite attack this round because it wasted its time trying to convince Uther to join it. And with that, we're going to roll initiative again.
Go, John, go.
It was kind of weak. You didn't
I
even
can do
give
it. I can
Uther
do
a
it.
pamphlet or anything like that to join his team.
Here we go.
Jeez.
Don't mess it up. An 8.
Castle Keeper's got a 1. Uther, why don't we start with you? What do you think of this offer?
I think it's to answer you, it's ridiculous. To answer it, and I would say hold on. I would say what? And end our game, and I'm gonna take another stab.
Okay.
Alrighty. And so I think I've and on the attack, I think I forgot it the +2 for my saves against evil creatures, but
Okay.
it's neither here nor there.
You rolled
All
no
right.
garbage.
I'm going to attempt to attack again, just stab it as deep as I can. 20, baby.
Nice.
Alrighty, so that is an 13 plus whatever comes up on this D8.
Go, Uther.
You're kidding me. 8. 21 damage.
21 damage.
Wow.
As you swing, your sword cuts right through one of the scales. The sword itself starts as it connects and goes in. The sword itself is glowing, and you are definitely hearing a woman's voice singing in your head. It's a song of battle. Song from your childhood memories coming forth, and you feel like you are one with the gods as you swing. That 21 points of damage causes the dragon to screech in pain, and she says, "I will destroy all of you. I will take them from you first, and then I will eat you piece by little piece." By the way, that 21 points of damage you dealt, you're also going to get that in healing.
Whoa.
That's going to be the restore.
All right. Woohoo.
Hammock.
I love 20s.
Hemmick. I thought you said
Yes.
mimic. I was like, man, it's like Dragon Ball Z reference. Am I?
I almost did. I said it once and I almost did it again. It was like,
It's so funny. I had so many. I don't know what jokes are appropriate, right? Like I had so many little funny songs that I wanted to like have the sword be singing. You know, I tell you what I want. What I really, really want.
Oh
Like,
no, no,
little,
no,
like,
no,
you know,
no,
what
no,
song is
no,
that?
no, you're fired.
How silly are we going with this?
isn't the bard supposed to be the one that makes us all cringe? I
Shout it
mean,
out. Like, you know, is it
Oh, he's a bard
techno?
at heart.
Is it yeah, entertainer?
Yeah.
Oh man, oh that's funny. I can't. It's gonna be hard to. I just was like, when is the appropriate time to whip out the Spice Girls joke? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna heal myself is what I'm gonna do.
okay.
So I'm gonna do Cure Serious, please.
All right.
Which is a 3d8, I think. It's just 3d8 flat.
Yep, 3d8 straight. I believe Cure Serious is
3d8
3d8
straight. Okay,
straight.
so I'm gonna go ahead and heal myself.
Come on.
Big numbers, big numbers.
Let's see some big numbers.
A total of 17.
Yeah, nice.
So
All right.
836.
I'm now only down by 2.
Nice.
And I just maintained shield up, hammer ready. Hemmick was thinking about needing to heal Uther, but like this is just shocked by seeing his wounds close after he strikes this dragon with a glowing sword, the blindingly bright glowing sword. That's Hemmick's action.
Okay. Let's go with Johan.
Johan was about to inspire Uther to greater heights, but he sees he's already there. I don't need to help him at all. So I'll shoot my mighty bow and 17 plus 7, so 23.
23 is going to hit.
And he won't even notice the 6 damage I did.
Sneaky damage.
You said 6 points?
Yes.
All right.
I'm trying to fly under the radar of Uther. You know, I'm adjusting my damage, scaling it as he scales. That's
All right. Let's see. You find one of your arrows is sticking out of a spot between scales. It does hit. The dragon doesn't seem to be paying a heck of a lot of mind to it. Nibble it.
I'm gonna cast mirror image.
All right, go for it. So what does that create? 4 of you or 5 of you?
Oh, I gotta look at it.
Or is it
again.
3 of you? I can never remember. Addition
I think
bleed.
it's 4.
Yeah, I think it's 1d4.
1D. Whoa, not a set number. Rough.
I gotta get to it again. Because I went to my sheet. It took me out of that.
Okay.
Mirror image. There it is. Okay. So, yeah, mirror image is 1d. Oh, that's damage. Creates. Oh,
1d4 plus 1.
plus 1 image. Yeah.
Yep.
So that was a 4 on the die.
So there's
So
5. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Lots
All
of
right.
little gnomes.
Haha. So there's. Okay, so I've got a question for you then. Because there is now 6 niblets there. Which number on a 6-sided die would you like to be?
I'll roll a 6-sided die to see.
Okay.
I rolled
You're
a
number
6.
1. You're number 6. You're number 6.
You rolled a 1?
I rolled a 6.
Oh, you rolled a 6. Okay. All right. So the dragon looks and says, I promised I would take care of your companions first. This is annoying. 1 gnome is annoying enough. 6 of them is too many. But there's dwarf. There's dwarf to be had. And she goes and tries to bite Hammock with giant chomping teeth.
Oh, I'm good. I'm okay.
Natural 20.
Oh,
yeah.
Crit it
yeah.
again.
That'll do it. I told
Yeah.
you I'm the crit magnet.
Wow. By the way, I guess I should warn you. And I think Toriano, actually both Torianos, I think both Toriano and Jeff were there for it. I once rolled 7 natural 20s in the course of a combat
Wow.
that the party had accidentally stumbled into.
No, it
Thankfully,
wasn't
they were not
accident.
fighting a dragon.
Remember, one of us took most of those.
Bouncing up, down.
And we were level 1 at the time, too.
Yeah.
Did you mention that part?
19 points of damage.
Ooh.
Yes, that stings.
As the teeth, as it closes its mouth on you, teeth pushing hard into the plate armor or the plate mail that you're wearing, squeezing you. With that, it is going to attempt swipe at Niblet twice, trying to get rid of some of those pesky mirror images.
Pesky
You said-
gnomes.
Okay, so the first one, AC 18 hits you, Niblet.
18. Yes.
All right, checking to see whether or not that was one of your mirror images disappears, and its second attack AC 14.
Nope.
Okay. All right, so there's now you and 4 mirror images. We're gonna maintain that you are the last the last of them. So whatever it is, whatever die I'm rolling, it'll be the highest number needs to be for it to be you. But you still have 4 mirror images with you.
Okay.
It does, as it turns though, its long tail lashes out and swipes at Johan.
Oh man, I'm like more than 20 feet away.
It's got a long tail.
Uh,
That's not fair. That's not fair, you.
AC
Dragon.
19?
Flat.
The AC 19 hit.
On the dot.
All right. It's just catches you at the, pardon the pun, tail end of it. Three points of damage.
How dare you, sir? Don't you see I'm trying to create art over here?
Apparently, it did not like your artwork. And let's roll initiative again.
I've been having so much luck with this. Okay,
Yes, you
I can
have.
do it. I can do it. So it's all skill.
It's all automated.
You're telling me there's a chance? Okay.
This is me switching up the die that. This is me switching up the die that I'm using because I'm
I
getting
got
tired of rolling
one.
ones.
You're telling me there's a
Doesn't matter.
chance. If we
There's no
tie, do we
chance.
re-roll? Tie. We gotta re-roll.
Yes.
You
Kelsey,
rolled a
keep rolling.
10.
Kelsey, keep rolling a
Oh
2.
no! Oh,
One by
two.
one by two. One
You were
by
like,
one.
you were like, he rolled a. Whoop.
All right, dragon first.
Oh my goodness.
Back to back dragon attacks.
All
Joy.
right. Yeah. The dragon. Oh, wait a second. Hold on a second. There are 3 of you now in breath weapon range.
Mhm.
Yep. I'm gonna need the 3 Uther, Hemmick, and Niblet to roll dexterity saving throws again, please.
Okay. So I'm going to get this right this time. It is 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 7 because that's my is that because my
Yeah,
What
I do
is
level
this,
2.
a dex? Is this a dex or wisdom?
this
Dex.
is dex.
Oh, well, that's a prime. So
So Uther has the blessing thing, right? The
Yes.
bard thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm rolling also. That's true.
and everybody, you get a
Okay.
+1 to your roll too, don't you? For bless or no
No, it's only fear.
fear? Oh,
Yeah. Here we go. Okay, I get it. I have a 22.
All right. Hemmick has a 22. What does Niblet have?
23 total.
And Uther?
16.
And that's prime.
All right. Let's see. Wow. As good as my rolls were last time I did breath weapon, those first 2 die were not bad at all. It's like the anti stuff. Apparently its heart wasn't in this one.
That's a lot of dice, though.
Yeah, it sounds scary. Even if it's not, it sure sounds scary.
66.
Oh, that's
And somehow you all managed to only take 8 points of damage.
woof.
Whoa. Did we all save? So
Did
what
we
happened?
all fail? We all saved? Wow.
Save, yep.
Yeah.
All
Wow.
right.
Okay.
Right.
I'm
And you
just,
said-
I'm
You said
just-
16 total?
8. No, it was 8 total.
Oh, 8 total. Okay.
8 total.
Would have been 6. Would have been 16 if you had failed.
Fair.
All right. Yeah, Johan, you were kind of kind of interrupted in your artistry.
And saying that it just unleashed another breath attack on my valiant companions, willing to stand close to it while I can take notes from the back. I should probably throw another boon their way. And seeing that, I believe Hemmick was the one who just got mauled again by the dragon. I'll put my bow to the side for a second again, and like I've got the ziffer on a strap, so like I can play and then just let it go, so it just hangs to the side. So I'm just gonna like bring it back up and then you look like you're taking very many mighty blows. But lucky for you, I'm giving you a +3 to your saving throws.
Hey.
Nice. All right, Niblet. So one of the unfortunate things about him unleashing a breath weapon on you is that it gets rid of it clears out your mirror images
Yeah.
because, well, but what would you like to do now?
Oh shoot! I just scrolled off of it. So I'm gonna cast Major Image.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
This spell creates an illusion of another object, creature, or force as visualized by the caster. Sound, smell, thermal illusions are within the spell's power creator. Creatures view the illusion to believe it. So hit point damage is suffered from damage to the mind psyche. I have to concentrate on it.
Okay. So what kind of illusion do you create?
Another dragon.
What type?
Whoa.
Let's go fire.
You're creating a red dragon?
Yep.
Nice.
Okay.
Say it gets an intelligence saving throw to disbelieve it.
Is that if it feels like it disbelieves it, or is that automatic?
It doesn't say when it saves.
No, it doesn't say when it saves.
So
Okay, hold on a second.
we have to
What was the spell again? Major image?
Major image.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I need to take a quick look at that.
What the illusion is.
Hemic, what are you doing in the meantime?
Hemmick's gonna heal himself again for 3d8.
All right, go for it.
8. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 12. This
12
time.
indeed. Not quite as good, but pretty darn good.
Looking a lot better. And that will be. That's Hemmick.
Okay. Hold on a second.
This is why illusionists always get banned.
Yep.
I make a major image of the Trask. Okay, wait. Like, look it up.
So, how about them sports teams?
Quick question. Do you have, for the illusionists, were there any particular bonuses added to your casting? I forget.
What do you mean
Let
am
me
I
see.
casting?
I want to make sure. Oh, okay. So you have bonuses to your saving throws for that. Okay. All right. So the dragon sees the red dragon suddenly spawn into existence. It's like, no, this is mine. Oh, wait.
It has the smell of it.
It does smell that way, yeah.
Yep.
But if it succeeds its save, then it knows.
Right.
Yeah,
something's up.
there's something off just enough in the smell of it that it realizes its brain. Pesky gnome. Oh, I think I shall have you first. But first, Uther gets to go.
Fantastic.
Wait, so he made a save?
Yes.
Okay, so
Bummer. So-
the image disappears if it makes it save.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of us are just like, oh.
By the way, note to self: having a red dragon appear besides a black dragon may not have the desired effect on your companions.
I imagine that around the campfire, Niblet would be telling us of all the crazy stuff that he can make appear. Or
Sure.
we wouldn't be totally desensitized to like giant elephants randomly showing up. Dragons.
Oh hell.
Alligators.
Uther.
So Uther screams up at the dragon, you will regret ignoring me in our playtime. And he's going to swing again because he can do that. That is going to be a fail. I rolled a 15 total.
15 total. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Clank, clank, clank.
That singing that you heard in your head suddenly becomes a clarified, a more clear voice, and she's saying, "Uther, get it together, man. Strike true."
I stop. I literally stop and I look at the sword.
Don't pay attention to me. Pay attention to that thing.
Fair enough.
By the way, the three of you also hear Uther's sword talking to him.
Oh, good.
we now hear it.
Yes. All right. So, Castle Keeper won initiative, and you all went at this point, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
Jeff, you're up for initiative because I finally won a round.
Please don't win another round. We want more attacks
Mhm.
before the
yeah.
dragon hurts
Another
us
breath
again.
weapon before I can heal again would be terrible.
Well, that may be happening. I rolled a 2.
Ooh,
No
boy.
pressure though.
Castle Keeper rolled a 3.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Hit me. 8 me.
Oh no, the dragon is, like I said, suitably incensed that the gnome keeps trying to play mind games with it. It does not like its intelligence being insulted, and it attempts to close its mouth on the gnome.
No.
Roll
Don't eat the
away,
gnome. Don't eat the gnome. Please don't
Roll
eat the
away.
gnome.
Wow.
Nat 20.
Oh.
Roll the one.
Nat 20.
No. So the running joke is playing with VTTs and doing digital dice. Not Fantasy Grounds. Foundry has had this annoying effect of looking like it's about to give a good roll and then falling to a bad roll.
Yeah.
And I just had that happen. I was about to have a 18 and it rolled onto a 5. So it snaps.
Chomp.
It snaps its jaws at Niblet, but Niblet, being a Niblet, manages to duck underneath. It does claw at both Uther and Hammock. First, Uther.
You need a TikTok.
Ah, you lied.
I don't think that's going to hit. It's only AC 16. So, Hammock. Nat 20.
I knew it. Nat 20.
No.
So,
Was it nat 20?
yeah, it's a nat
Crit?
20.
No.
But
I knew it.
I gotta say, at the
I'm
very
okay.
least you're getting, at least this is one of the much lesser damage things. It's not the.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm
Yeah,
okay.
but that blur I cast on him doesn't help him if you keep rolling those nat 20s.
I had actually forgotten about the blur. 4 points of damage
Was the blur on me or was the blur on Uther?
On
It was
you.
on you.
on you.
Oh. Yeah, so far my AC hasn't mattered at all.
No.
How much was it? Sorry.
4 points of damage.
On a crit?
Yeah, yeah. It's not a big damage attack for it.
Ooh.
There's just lots of them.
Johan, I'm going to make a rough assumption that you kind of backed out just far enough to get out of that tail range again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that.
Oh yeah.
It's like one of those things where I think that was kind of a fait accompli. All right. So let's go with Uther first.
Okay.
Go, Uther.
Lying worm. I knew you wouldn't leave me for last, and I attack.
Go for
it. 26.
26. The sword glows brilliantly as you swing and strike the giant worm. Roll your damage.
That is 12 damage.
Nice.
Okay.
Seven on the
now,
dice.
now I want you to roll 2d10s.
You're chipping it
2d10.
down.
And not percentile. I want you to roll actual 2d10.
That's a 0. I like that 0. And another 0.
Yours.
I'm gonna roll it again just to see if this dice is fair. That's okay. Yeah, that's a different thing. Oh, I love it.
As the sword hits, there's a flash, and you hear again that feminine voice say "Yes!" as you end up doing 32 points of damage to the dragon.
Whoa!
Who says who lets out a
Wow.
A
War cry.
terrorized howl. Looking down at you, its eyes just possible that the dragon is feeling a bit of fear here. Hemmick.
Man, I really want to know what this hammer does, but I keep getting beat to like. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Healing Circle.
But what are the odds you're going to get crit for a fourth time?
What are the odds?
100%.
I mean,
What are the odds?
100%.
Get a hole punched in my chest. I'm gonna cast Healing Circle, so all the folks within 20 feet of me, which is probably everybody except Johan, is gonna get 2d8 healing.
Ooh.
Okay.
And that
Roll
is
2d8. Bam. 5.
ouch.
So
But,
there you
you
go.
know, That's 5.
5 points of
Five we
healing.
didn't have before.
And that and Himmick, that is my turn.
All right, Niblet.
I'm gonna cast Hypnotic Pattern at the face of the dragon.
Okay, go for it.
It's a
That's just a straight up save.
yeah, it's a intelligent saving.
All right, hold on a second.
Come
I need to
on.
see.
It does 2d4 hit dice of creatures plus an additional hit die per caster level.
In
Oh, one
damage.
big one.
No, the caster can affect no more than 2d4
Plus
Plus-
7
plus 7.
hit die. So
Okay.
if it's more than 15 hit die, it wouldn't ever work.
well,
Yeah, no,
maybe-
you're able to affect it. Hold on.
That might be our chance. If you can hypnotic pattern it, and then I can bop it.
Hypnotic
Finally, my
pander
hammer.
it.
When it's helpless.
Yeah.
Maybe I can hit it.
That's
then.
what I've been
Auto
trying to
crit.
do. All the spells have been to do
Yeah.
something to get its attention off of you guys.
And I've been working to keep its attention on me.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, but it's to stop its attacks. Is what it's.
Yeah. Even
For
for
sure, for
for
sure.
one action, to get it
Right.
to do nothing for one action would be great.
A pattern of shifting and weaving colors finds its way surrounding the dragon's head, and its eyes, full of fear and rage that were focused on Uther, start following the colors,
Yes.
just looking around.
Oh yeah.
It's only for one round, probably.
That's right.
but-
Pretty lights, dragon.
Good enough. Good enough.
So, for one round, actually, Johan, have you attacked this round yet?
I have not.
Go ahead.
Okay, so do I get any bonus or anything for it being?
No, because this is going to be kind of you don't want. You can either have, because you're going to get a free attack next round. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay, can I yell something?
Sure.
Now I'll yell to Niblet. Will I dispel it if I hit it with an arrow?
No.
No, you're not. You won't dispel it.
No.
I probably
different
did not hit
edition.
also. I got a 5 plus 7, so 12.
That's not going to be good enough.
I just
Whoa.
have to stay concentrating on the spell.
You can hurt it and it doesn't break it.
That's
Yep.
so good.
What?
Yep.
That's strong.
He is 7th level.
It's like a second level spell. Holy cow.
So basically
Yeah.
at the end of this this next round, I'll make a save again. Correct? That's what we're
Yep.
looking at. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So all right. So if that's your concentration, I'm going to assume that you're not able to do anything else.
Nope, I can't do anything else. I have to focus on this now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that I
that's
have it.
cool.
All right. So Johan, take your attack. I'm going to impose a slight penalty on the creature's AC because it's not paying attention.
This time is better. I got a 17 plus 7, so 24.
That's going to hit.
Dunk.
I'm assuming it'd be a save per round.
6 points of damage.
Yeah, it's a save per round.
6 points of damage. All right. Hammock.
Well,
Are we back to the top of initiative then?
There's no initiative this particular round because the creature's
Fantastic.
basically fascinated until after your turn.
Excellent. Can I take a step back and lay on hands Hammock so he can do a hammer?
Sure.
I do that. I step back, cradle my sword in my arm, and slam my hand on his chest.
I'm like, he sees me hauling my hammer back.
Yeah, and I slam my hand into his chest, dumping 14 hit points
Woo!
into him.
I only have 1 hit point gone now, so I look great.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm just gonna slingshot that energy and just bop. I'm gonna
Go.
crack it right in the face.
Come on now.
I hope. Come on.
Roll good.
1d20 plus 6 plus 1. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Total of 18.
The dragon is fascinated, and that's going to be good enough to hit.
Yes!
40 damage.
Okay, that's an exciting roll, but my damage is not great. 1d8 plus 3 plus anything fancy that it might do. So max damage, I roll 11 points of damage.
Hot damn.
Crack!
You hit it with 11 points of damage,
Snap
and-
its head back.
and the head of the hammer it's almost as if you were striking it to an anvil. There's this giant flash and spark as you hit one of the scales on its elongated mouth, causing both that and a tooth to just fly off. The dragon, despite the fascination, still screeches in pain. Do me a favor and roll another D8.
Yeah.
Do that. Roll 1d8.
Roll it good.
5.
Not bad. Not bad.
How much did you hit?
5.
5. All right. And Uther, you use your lay on hands on it. All right.
As I'm concentrating, I'm going to start walking backwards.
Okay.
Wise
Nothing to
gnome.
see here.
Lots to see here. Over there.
Yeah.
The dragon's going to attempt to save. And the dragon, apparently the hammer blow was enough to shock it out of its reverie. Blast you! This was supposed to be my party! Mine! Why? It rears its head back, and sure enough, it blasts Uther and Hammock with the breath weapon again.
Oh, that's the good stuff.
That's the good stuff.
Okay, roll 1d20.
And Uther,
plus
I believe Uther, you still have
3.
the bonus saving throw, correct?
I think I have that
Johan?
one.
No, he has that now.
I've got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hammock's out. All right.
Yeah. So I've got
Ooh, 28 total.
two.
Well, that's going to save.
Yeah.
All right, so it's this
Hello? Where you going? Ah. 27.
Dang.
Double saves.
That's
All
a
right.
7. I got a 17 plus the +2 plus the 7.
What does that do?
All right.
I'm so glad breath weapons can't crit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. I dove completely out of the way. Huh! Full Dark Souls.
You just do a somersault in the middle
Yep,
of it.
just straight towards.
Just misses you.
Both of you, make yourselves as small as possible, hiding behind your shield as the majority of the breath weapon misses you. You do each take 11 points of damage, though.
Ow.
Whoosh. That's right. It's 11, but I bet
Mhm.
the alternative
Mhm.
was
All right.
Double, in fact.
twice as bad.
Twice as
So, Johan, take your shot at it.
All right.
Dookadoo.
And not so much. I missed. 4.
Just 4?
No,
Okay.
I mean, well, 4 plus 7.
4
but-
plus, yeah.
but, it's way off.
Okay. That misses Niblet. Oh, that's right. You were all right, Niblet. You were concentrating, but it made it say, "Oh yeah, you got to go this round." That's right. Yeah, you do get to go this round.
All right, I'm gonna chuck one of the throwing daggers at it this round.
All right. How about thee?
You know what we need? We need talking ranged weapons so we get the Doppler effect on everything that they
Whoa,
say.
whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
And that is a natural 20.
Nah, dude, if you kill it with your
Right in
dagger
the eye.
throw,
Right in the
oh,
eye.
do
Oh my
it.
god.
Do it, Niblet.
Wow.
That's great.
So that's 1d4 plus 1. Oh, minus 1.
So basically, it's 5 points of damage plus the additional 1d4 plus 1.
So no, it's sheet says
Minus
1d4
1.
minus 1.
Oh, minus 1. Oh, so
Yeah,
it's
because-
it's
Well, wait a minute,
Three.
because isn't throwing dex? That's not strength, that's dex. Why is
that's
that a
dex.
minus?
Yeah, no, that's right. That is dex.
But the damage is strength because you're using
Yeah.
throwing.
Damage
Yeah.
is still strength, right?
Yeah, damage
It's
is
like
strength. That's
it's like
correct.
2
Oh.
hit is dex and damage is strength or
Okay,
something.
so-
Yeah.
That's
So it'll be 3 then plus 3.
All right.
max damage. Yeah.
Well,
D6
I mean, there's a rule of cool, but I'm sorry, I can't have a dragon suddenly drop dead from a tiny.
It'll be like the
Why
Dirk
not?
Gently's
That would
where
be epic.
he throws it and it he screws it up and it bounces around the room and hits it right in the perfect.
Or you bash it, I stab it, you bash it, and then
If you're a little closer, you're getting there, but
the breath weapon in the mouth, the top of the mouth.
yeah, straight up. Or it does that cocky thing where it catches it midair and with a bite.
But
Next
by the way,
stab
it
itself.
explodes.
the dagger is kind of right between the eyes. The only thing that you can surmise is that it didn't get deep enough to get to its completely hit its skull, crack its skull.
You just did surprise damage. It was psychic. It was psychic surprise damage.
Hemic. Go ahead, Hemic.
Kill it.
Okay.
Let's end this game.
I'm just gonna swing. It's hurt. It's down. I'm not bleeding. I think I can survive a hit.
Uh huh.
How are you looking, Uther?
Covered in acid. Kill it.
Oh, okay. Swing the hammer. Swing the hammer. Swing the hammer. 1d20 plus 7. I need better than a 13, I think. Somewhere around there. A total of 22.
That's gonna hit.
Yeah. Okay. Damage is 1d8 plus 3. for a total of 10.
The dragon is reeling.
Bam.
It looking around, just not expecting to have dealt with this, looking like it wants to escape, but the paladin still has to go.
Get him.
And the bard.
Get it.
And
Get
the
it.
bard.
Oh, wait! I thought Johan had shot.
No.
I'm sorry.
That was last round.
Mm-mm.
Yep,
My
that was
bad.
last round.
Wait,
Oh, you should have gone before melee. Sorry, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, go
Johan,
ahead.
do me a favor. Actually, Johan, take your shot.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna miss so that Uther can. I'm just gonna try- Can I do a distracting shot?
Arrow from the dark. You got it.
Sure, why not? Go for a distracting shot.
Well, I don't want to steal his thunder. I'm writing his epic story, not mine.
What's
Does
distracting? What's distracting shot? What did it do?
21.
Basically, I'm going to have him like shoot an arrow right across its eye level.
To give you a better chance to hit, does a 21 distracted?
Yeah, sure. What the hell? You see the dragon, Uther. You see the dragon's eyes, follow and turn its head slightly, both from the pain of Hemek's shot, as well as the arrow just nearly hitting it in the eyes, presenting presenting itself nicely for you. Take your shot.
I swing at it with a mighty roar, a mighty yell. That is a total of 20. I rolled a 10.
With the distraction, that's going to be good enough.
Hey, Phantom, can I do a shout out that my dice is one of the cupcake dice that Jen Obsidian Rick's wife gave us a blue box con?
Absolutely. Hey, listen, it was never a bad thing to shout out Blue Box Con.
Oh, there it is. Natural 8 max damage.
Nice.
I'm
And
so lucky with these dice.
and roll the 2d10 for me.
Oh, I get to do that again?
Yeah.
No. All right. That is a 7. That is a wait, this is a D10. That's a 9. Yes. So
Tell me what tell me what it
so
looks
16.
like.
So it's distracted.
Got
He
like
smashes
10
it in the
sides
head.
on it, or 8 sides on it, with numbers like 1 through.
So I'm underneath. I've just taken the blast. It's got its head over me. It's ignoring me. I told that it was a bad idea. So what I do is I take my sword and I raise my shield and I take both my my sword in both my hands, dropping my shield and slice it across the throat. Blood everywhere.
Yeah, the dragon says, "You would have made such nice toys," as it starts to fall to the ground, and the
And we all take crushing damage and die.
hey now,
You guys did. I'm 25 feet or 30 feet back that
Well,
way.
of course, the storyteller is going to be the one that survives.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And
The remaining 300 gallons of acid inside of it.
yeah. So yeah, basically, as it hits the ground, the damage, the massive amount of damage hit, causes the top part of the neck, including its head, to detach from the rest of the corpse that also falls, and suddenly all is quiet within the dwarven hall.
I can't believe we beat that dragon.
Vengeance is ours.
I can't believe we beat that dragon. I thought for sure that was the toast part.
That was painful. I went through so much healing.
You sure did. I went in there like,
I was gonna have to run.
hit me,
I
and it barely hit me. It
I was going to
barely
go up
touched
to you and pour one of my potions down your throat.
I mean, I intentionally gave you weapons that
awesome.
I didn't want them at full power to start with,
Mm-hmm.
and
Sure.
I was like, of course, it didn't help that Hemek would either miss or be healing every round, so his weapon never came into play. It was like,
No, it's like tap 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 crit, tap 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 crit.
Well, I
oh
mean, that's
boy.
fighting, right?
Where's that
That's
Hemmick at?
realistic.
Crit.
All right, so yeah, well, yeah, that brings us to the end of today's adventure.
Awesome.
I'd like to thank my players who were just. This was just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the role play, the interplay. It's just great job, everyone. I want to go around and we take some time to talk about who you are and what you're up to. So let's work backwards this time. So Toriano,
So,
you go first.
let's see. I have my Castles and Crusade streams every Saturday on BPG Gaming RPG on Twitch. Yeah, they're getting close to the end of the campaign, actually. So I think there's like 2, maybe 3 sessions left, and then that'll be over. And I've been working on some overlays for another friend, so that's about all I've been up to.
Okay. Cool. So Jeff.
My name is Jeff Herrig, and I am a 3D artist and writer, and I'm working on a fantasy story with a group of other writers, and I'm kind of like the overseer of a group that all do interactive role play stories and whatnot, and we're developing this massive world that takes place in a dystopian future that is the reverse of like your normal fantasy story, and that in this one you have modern day science creates the fantasy world through technology and through science. And as you can see, like I have some of my artwork in the background and whatnot, and that's what I'm up to.
Fantastic.
Nice.
John.
I'm Demon Gun with Virtual Tabletop Journeys. We produce 5e content at our Patreon, patreon.com/demongun. And I stream a bunch at twitch.tv/demongun. I'm all up in the 3D virtual tabletop space. So if you want to learn any more about that, come to the channel and ask questions and stuff. I work with Tony, and we publish stuff, and we meet every single day, and we're producing content all the time.
It's great stuff. Great
And
stuff.
we love.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. And we love being invited on shows like this. It's awesome.
It's fun.
Fantastic. It was great having you. It was great being able to run a game for the two of you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thank our wives. Don't thank like
Yeah,
our wives
yeah,
are
we
like,
get- we-
okay,
we got the
I
okay."
guess you can spend an afternoon because it's during nap time. Like
Fact.
that is literally our lives.
Indeed.
Some people have football widows, some have TTRPG widows.
Yeah.
Tony.
I mean, I can't add anything to that other than I am Tony. I go by Heimdallr. We're just working our way through the dream, right? We're trying to get our name out there, our work out there, and hopefully pretty soon we'll be doing another Kickstarter. We've done one of them successfully, and our plan is by the end of November we'll be running another.
Nice.
Sweet.
Big Book of Bosses. Oh yeah.
All right. I like it. So yeah, as for me, you can find me all over the place. I play, in addition to streaming the occasional one shot here, Monday nights you can find me on Roll for Perception playing in a Pathfinder 2e game. We are doing the Outlaws of Alkenstar adventure path, where I am playing a dwarven gunslinger who's got a bit of a nasty streak to him. When it comes to his enemies, anyway. On Wednesdays, you can find me here co-hosting Lore Masters Arcanum. This week, oh goodness, what were we discussing this coming week?
So good.
That's gonna haunt me a bit. Manda, can you tell me what we're doing this week? That's right. This week is going to be talking about the Satanic Panic. We're going to have a couple of people with us, though I am not entirely clear who's joining us yet. Yeah, Faith and Fantasy. So that should be interesting. On Thursday nights, I do some streaming on my own channel, Phantom NJ. It's kind of, it could be a bit about anything. Normally there's some me reading stuff involved with a glowing glow in the dark 20-sided die and some emotes. And on Friday nights you can find me here in Discord, Friday Night Crusades, 8:00 Eastern. And that goes from 8 to 11 Eastern. All you need to do is roll up a character and be able to talk in Discord. There is no attendance requirement whatsoever. If you can't make a session, no big deal. If you have to show up late, no big deal. You have to leave early, no big deal. We hand wave all that in. We don't worry about it. People show up, they have to leave, whatever. We take care of it. I'd like to say that our party is in a bit of a pickle. They are currently mostly level 5, some are level 4. They're in some serious danger right about now because they're starting to step up in weight class, and things start hitting back as we're finding out. So tune in for that. In addition to all that, we have a bunch of shows here on Blue Box RPG. Next Sunday will be the return of Tears of Erd, the new campaign being run by John, with some new, some returning cast of players. It just started. It is fantastic. Great group. On Tuesday nights, we have Greyhawk Awakenings.
The camera for one of those sessions for that game, right? In Tailspire? Or that? I think it might be one of those. Sure. At the top of John.
On Tuesday nights, we have Greyhawk Awakenings. You're going to want to tune in Tuesday because one of the party members has taken a critical hit. The roll has been done, but the results have not been foretold. So could another character be dying right at the very start of the session? Tune in on Tuesday at it's 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern to find out. I already mentioned Lore Masters Arcanum. And also on opposite Sundays, so any Sunday where Tears of Erd is not running, coming in a couple of weeks, will be the start of the Fall of the Red Dawn campaign being run by Rory, also known as Mr. Gimbal, also known as Anaho if you're watching the Tuesday night game. Brand new campaign set in the world of Greyhawk, so you're going to want to tune in for that. I'd like to thank, we have our wonderful sponsors who I believe Manda has been doing shout outs for at least some of them. We've got Ferox Fabrications. We have Art of Mike Disney's channel.
I've hit I got to turn into a pumpkin.
All right. Well, in that case, we're without further ado, please check out our sponsors. I believe they're all mentioned on the Twitch page. Mantic Games, Art of Mike Disney. Like I said, he's here in channel with us. Fantastic artist. Hob, who does most of our overlays and artwork. Troll Lord Games, who make Castles and Crusades, which we just played. Cozy Gamer, wonderful, fantastic dice. And I may be missing something, but we are out of time. And let me go to the ending screen so people can head out. Thank you once again to my players. Thank you to all the Mad Chatters for spending time with us. I hope you enjoyed this game as much as I enjoyed watching it. We're going to be rating someplace new today. New stream that I found called Marquee Gaming. They are running a 5e session in a homebrew urban fantasy using 5e. So let's raid them and give them a follow. Show them some love and hopefully make some new friends. All right. Oh, while we're waiting for that, we here at Blue Box do have a question for you because I refuse to forget that. If you are been watching the stream and you've been enjoying what you've been seeing, or and if you give us a follow, or if you're a follower, and you've been following for a while, why not give us a sub? But if you've been a sub and your sub has ended and you have not resubbed, we do have one question for you. What are you doing? Give us a follow, give us a sub. This is Blue Box signing off with a raid. Bye now.